You are watching Game 72 of the 2023 Banana Ball World Tour, loved by our dearest of pals over at Zappos. The Bananas, 28-24 against their arch rivals, the Party Animals, will undergo the first of 3 games against the bad boys of Bananaland here in the Empire State. You won't see the next 2 until the final 2 games of this tour on September 14th and 16th in Syracuse and Cooperstown. But boy, is this a huge one to snag, because whoever wins it will be 1 win away from taking the final state on this tour. Let's take a look at how the Bananas align defensively tonight here in Staten Island. In the outfield, left to right, it is Michael Deeb, Danny Hosley, and Noah Bridges, not Vinny DeRubius, although it is Noah's picture. Vinny was originally the right fielder, a very late scratch, and the graphics department was able to get halfway there. I digress. In the infield, third to first, it is Jackson Olsen, Ryan Cox, Dalton Malden, and Eric Jones Jr. Behind the plate is Bill Leroy, and it's the big lefty on the mound, Ryan Kellogg.
Yeah, and it's Danny Hosley who's held down center field very well for the Bananas with DR Meadows up, and you saw Michael Deeb go with his patented bare hand trick play in the outfield last night, and also the double play combo up the middle, Ryan Cox and Dalton Malden, each with the trick play last night for the Bananas as well.
Let's take a closer look at Kellogg on the bump. Guy who was in the Atlantic League last summer, pitching for the Lexington Wild Health Genomes. Before that, 7 years in the Chicago Cubs minor league system, getting all the way up to Triple-A, the Iowa Cubs, where we will be in a couple weeks. And boy, oh boy, has Kellogg been absolutely phenomenal. He has solidified his spot as the number 3 starter on this Banana staff.
And it's his 4th start for the Bananas this season. His last time out, he pitched 5 innings, allowed 7 hits and 4 runs, all of which were earned. But still, he did not allow any sprints in that ball game, and that's what we've seen make Kellogg very effective so far, is limiting his sprints allowed. He'll give up a hit every now and then, but he's not allowing free base runners, especially them getting in scoring position on the sprints. All he's got to look out for tonight, Tanner Thomas, who has hit him extremely well to this point on the tour.
Let's take a look at the Party Animals lineup opposing Mr. Kellogg. It's a former Atlantic Leaguer at the top and in the 2-hole in Reese Hampton and Dalton Cornett. Tanner Thomas will be due up third. Jake Skoll, another former Atlantic Leaguer, cleaning it up. And we'll throw it down to Jesse Cole.
Fans, tonight we have a special first pitch. Tonight's first pitch will count in the game for a ball or a strike. Now joining us for our first pitch, a former 6-time Major League All-Star, a former Cy Young Award winner, and a World Series champion with your New York Yankees. Please welcome CC Sabathia!
You can't make this up. And boy, does CC look good in yellow. The big southpaw taking it from the big southpaw. And CC chants being belted out by the full capacity crowd here in Staten Island. The pitch outside, and it's going to be a 1-ball count on Reese Hampton to start the game. The Party Animals jubilant that CC gave them a slight advantage to begin things.
Well, you could see CC Sabathia earlier today. He was at BIB, and the Bananas and the Party Animals both just absolutely swarmed CC. Everybody wanted the chance to talk to this guy, and why not? You're looking at a possible future Hall of Famer right there.
He's got my vote. Here's Jesse again.
On 3, I need everyone here to yell, start the clock. 1, 2, 3. Showtime.
Showtime indeed, Jesse. What a beautiful evening for Banana Ball. Live from the Big Apple. 80 degrees Fahrenheit as we prepare for our second pitch of the ball game. The first one that Ryan Kellogg will hurl. And Reese Hampton, 12th round draft pick by the Detroit Tigers back in 2018, who spent 3 years in their organization. Another in the Arizona Diamondbacks org. Could have easily stolen first base there, but the best hitter on the tour wants to do just that.
Look, this is a guy with an OPS plus above 170 for the Party Animals and a guy who likes to get his ABs. If it were later in the game, you probably would have seen Reese Lightning take off for first, try and get a base runner, but here wants to see what he can do with the bat, especially here against Kellogg.
And that is why he stayed in the box. Ropes that one down the left field line, and he will have his tour-leading 23rd two-bagger as all his teammates come out to celebrate on second base.
Yeah, it's just more of what you've seen from Reese Hampton all season. Another extra base hit for him, and you saw this quite a bit in Savannah as well, where he started those games batting nearly 1,000 for the Party Animals. They're going to keep rolling and dance it up there with Reese.
And is also his tour-leading 35th extra base hit. We had him on the pregame show yesterday with his partner in crime, Jake Skoll, who is now in the hole, and was regaling us with a story about last year and his Atlantic League season with the Gastonia Honey Hunters, where from the left side of the batter's box, he put a ball in the New York Harbor off Major Leaguer Julio Teheran. Now Dalton Cornett, a Wild Health Genome teammate of Ryan Kellogg from a summer ago. In fact, they were roommates on every road trip with a quick 2-0 count. Cornett, the DH, in his second World Tour, hitting .340, a .411 on-base percentage, slugging .503. That one stabbed by Eric Jones Jr. goes under his leg, and Kellogg there to finish up the 10th trick play on the tour for EJ.
Eric Jones Jr. not only makes a phenomenal diving stop there for the Bananas, but you could see he wanted to get the flip there from Kellogg, and it was him making a mad dash to the base, and EJ just getting that ball between the legs with the flip for the out. Unbelievable start to the game defensively for the Bananas.
Hampton moves 90 feet closer to home. He now leads off third. And this is the man you circled on your scorebook before the game, Tanner Thomas, lefty on lefty. In his second tour has hit Ryan Kellogg very well. Overall, he's hitting .305, .359 on base percentage, a .448 slug, and has driven in 45 runs. Looking to make it 46 here. Michael Deeb catches it. Hampton off from third. The throw is a tad late. Vitamin Deeb never had a chance, and the Party Animals strike first. They are up a run here in the first inning.
Well, you saw Tanner Thomas start this tour 5 for 9 against Ryan Kellogg, which includes a home run. And here, Tanner able to drive it out to the opposite way deep enough. Very easy for Reese to score, and it's the Party Animals continuing a charge we saw in their series in Savannah, scoring again here in the first inning.
With 2 outs and nobody aboard, it will be Jake Skoll, the left fielder, in his third World Tour, first for the Party Animals. The former first-round draft pick, that was back in 2010 when the Rangers nabbed him 15th overall. Spent 7 years in minor league baseball, 5 in the Rangers system, 2 with the New York Yankees, although he never made it this low. Staten Island Yankees were the low A affiliate up until 2020 in the great purge of minor league baseball. He was playing in Trenton and Tampa and able to battle here. Kellogg, 2-seam, 4-seam fastballs, changeup, slider, and curveball to round out the arsenal. Low 90s with the fastball, and the slider is the weapon of choice to get the K. Party Animals get a run across. Nanners will need 1 to win the, check that, 1 to tie the inning and 2 runs to win it.
And still a good recovery overall from Ryan Kellogg, despite the leadoff double from Reese Hampton. Just good, consistent hitting there for the Party Animals, just getting productive outs that led to a run for them in the top of the first. Ryan Kellogg really still able to minimize the damage there.
Here's how the Party Animals align defensively from left to right in their outfield. You've already seen them all hit. Jake Skoll, Reese Hampton, and Tanner Thomas. In the infield, third to first, it is Bryson Bloomer, Chase Acuff, Dustin Baber, and Jason Swan. Joe Lytle gets the start behind the dish, and the home state kid, Brandon Sherman, gets the start on the bump.
Now, believe it or not, the last time we saw the Party Animals take the diamond, they only converted one trick play the entire game. Biko, would you care to guess who that might have come from?
One trick play the last time that the Party Animals played Banana Ball, which was last Saturday in Savannah, Georgia. The one trick play, I think it was Chase Acuff. Maybe it was Dustin Baber.
Oh, you got it on your second try. Dustin Baber collecting his 66th trick play. And this is a Party Animals team that people forget actually had more trick plays successfully converted in the month of July than the Bananas. So look for them to get back in the trickery, especially playing on a turf field.
Just had a forward roll from a youngster as we get a look at the pride of Island Park, New York, at a West Hempstead High School, Brandon Sherman. The overall numbers on the season do not jump off the page, but since the start of April, in 15 and a third innings pitched across 12 relief appearances, a 3.52 ERA, which is really incredible. So this is Sherman's first start for the Party Animals since March, but boy, out of the pen, since those first couple months, he's been excellent.
It was March 25th in Montgomery, the last time we saw Brandon Sherman start for the Party Animals, and he left the months of February and March with 6 starts in total and an earned run average over 10, believe it or not. Here, it's Eric Jones Jr. who's able to get on to a trick play missed there from Chase Acuff. But once again, like you said, buddy, it's Sherm who has been phenomenal for the Party Animals since moving to the bullpen. And in the month of July, posted an MPI, an average MPI of the month at 1 minute and 27 seconds.
That is an excellent break for the Bananas. Only the second trick play missed for Acuff on the tour in 36 tries. That was a very rare sight. And that gives the Bananas the tying run on base and the potential inning winning run at the dish in the form of Michael Vitamin Deeb in his 3rd World Tour. The 4-year Notre Dame linebacker who then finished up his collegiate athletics career with 2 years of baseball at Bethune-Cookman. Spent some time in the Chicago White Sox minor league system, has played professionally down in Puerto Rico, and has found a lifelong home for himself in Banana Land. Cranks that one foul. Fan could make a big play here for the Party Animals, although that one evades the hands of the fans.
And what we've seen from Michael Deeb on this year's tour is occasional struggles against left-handed pitchers. But here to start the season, or well, this far into the season against Brandon Sherman, batting .333 against the lefty, and Deeb is going to be plunked with the pitch.
It's the 4th time on the season that Michael has been hit by a pitch, and now the potential inning winning run is aboard as you get a look at Malachi Mitchell off on that pitch. Of course, not able to get a stolen base with the dead ball. Flash the kid 65 for 70 in his stolen base attempts to pace all Banana Ballers. Sherman, pretty much a 4-pitch mix of fastball, slider, knuckle curve, and knuckleball. As that one lined to center, Reese Hampton hardly has to move, and Malachi retreats back to second. Big first out for Brandon Sherman, who's trying to pick up his shortstop here in the bottom of the 1st.
Yeah, and you could see Dan hunting there on the first pitch from Sherm. Went with something right over the plate, and Dan drove it very well. But once again, that was really perfect placement there in center field for Reese Hampton to not only make the catch, but set himself up in great position to make sure it was Malachi who wouldn't advance to third base on that fly out.
Now the ever-dangerous cleanup hitter, Dakota McFadden, just like Deeb on first base and Malachi on second. He is in his 3rd World Tour. The extra hitter for the Nanners, hitting .295, .371 on base percentage, and 3rd on the team with his .526 slugging percentage. And that's a credit to his 9 homers and 13 doubles, the former of which is tied for 2nd on the tour. Malachi deep towards 3rd there, then Deeb thought he might have been off on the pitch, headed towards 2nd. He was able to scamper back to 1st before Joe Lytle threw behind him. Of course, Jason Swan with a runner in front of Deeb, not holding on the Bananas left fielder. That ball scolded to left. It's a base knock for McFadden. Throw from Skoll is going to trickle in to the plate. And the trick play missed from Chase Acuff. Comes back to bite the Party Animals. This inning is knotted at a run each.
We saw Dakota McFadden collect 2 hits last night against the FerryHawks, which included an RBI for him. And now you're seeing a little bit of that carryover into this game as he ties the inning up. And you could see Tyler Gillum over there coaching third base. There was no question he was sending Malachi Mitchell on that hit to left.
Backdoor, like a cutter from Sherman, who will mix up the fastball, 4-seam, 2-seam, and cut it. And there is the famous knuckle drop. 1-1 count on Danny Hosley, the tour leader in walk-offs, who has the potential inning-winning run in scoring position with 1 out. 25 times Haas has ended a frame. It's been Danny do-it-all for the Nanners. You could put him anywhere out in the field. Predominantly has been playing in right and second base, a little third base, and now center field. Pretty much fills in for whoever is on the shelf for the Nanners. Hampton takes control in center, adjusts to the wind coming off the harbor, and that is out number 2.
Yeah, and it looked like Reese Hampton was almost about to overrun that ball. But this is a guy, again, who played in the Atlantic League and in this ballpark, no less. So it was the experience that paid off for him there and being able to make the catch for the second out.
The inning now lies in the hands of the glove magician, Ryan Cox, the shortstop. In the 6 hole, he's a tough man to strike out, sends that one in the air. Bryson Bloomer drifting into foul territory will end the frame. But the Bananas get an unearned run off Sherman and stave off the Party Animals trying to snag the first point tonight. 0-0 going to the second. Let's see why Cowboy Kyle Lewigs was showman of the night an evening ago.
You mean to tell me Cowboy Kyle Lewigs won another showman for the Bananas? I guess he did, and we're going to get it started. That's the patented Kyle and Bill throw behind the batter. Bill taking the express route through the legs. And man, kind of phased him a little bit. It's Kyle winding up with the K there. And now, next batter, it's the donut batter. And Kyle Lewigs will get the strikeout. And that's not all. That's the 100th strikeout of the tour for Kyle Lewigs, the first pitcher to triple-digit strikeouts. And look at that. Kyle Lewigs pointing up to the booth. He's trying to fire up 2 of the Bananas broadcasters, and they were ready to give Kyle all the credit he deserved. Congratulations, Kyle. That's not all. We're getting a 3-2-2. Some really good hip movement, little took a shake. Kyle delivering the pitch, and it's fouled off. So Kyle decides to go with the 120-foot pitch to the same batter. He is not phased at all. This one's going out to deep left field, and I've never seen a home run allowed by a pitcher in his showman melt. But Kyle Lewigs, he's accomplished that feat. But getting back out there in the third, gets a punch out, and this really was the show-stopping moment of the night, reminiscent of the Statue of Liberty, and Kyle Lewigs got the strikeout-looking Vincent Chapman fired up as well, and Kyle Lewigs could earn another showman as he even ended it with a little bit of ring dudes. Look at this guy. Kyle, you look exactly like Lady Liberty.
I am the living, breathing, futuristic, and present Lady Liberty, Statue of Liberty. I mean, yeah, it's great. I feel like I've had a lot of first on this tour, as Bryson, heck of a sword there. You know, a lot of firsts this tour. Obviously getting to 100 is a really cool mile marker. It took me a couple more innings than I would have liked to have had it take. But, you know, it comes with the territory. If you're going to throw a bunch of pitches at second and be the only one that throws them from second, you're bound to give up a home run once in a while.
A little cue ball to first. Eric Jones Jr. will flip it to Kellogg. Just barely able to beat Bryson Bloomer to the bag. And out number 1 here in the top of the second. Both teams pushed a run across in the first, so neither squad able to earn a point. And now it'll be Garrett Delano, the extra hitter, and your teammate back in 2018 in your maiden Bananas voyage.
And just a hitter in that time. Wasn't even a pitcher. And now he's probably, I would say, still probably one of the better pitchers that they have over on that side, and he can really swing it too.
Backdoor bender gets strike 1. Now this
backdoor fastball.
Very backdoor.
Now, is that the first time that's happened to
I think
Delano
so.
on the tour?
That was a really organic, good reaction from Garrett there.
He's having to take a deep breath, man.
Yeah, that's really good stuff.
2-1 count on Delano, who, in a small sample size, only 35 at-bats, but 11 hits, and he cranks that one towards center. Hosley positioned well, and it is a line out for out number 2. But that is what Delano does. He just mashes baseballs.
He really does. He's not going to strike out a whole lot. Really swings it well, no matter if he's in a 2-strike count or, he's in a hitter's heavy count. Got rakes.
And he goes up there with a pretty aggressive approach, too. And really, the only thing that's kind of knocked him at all since moving into that lineup for the Party Animals, a lack of extra base hits.
Yeah, early on the tour, he had a homer and a double. Since then, he has been a singles machine, although if he had located that line drive a little more to the right or left of Hosley, could have had a 2-bagger pretty easily. The fans could have a chance to snag this. No, it doesn't quite make it to him. Lands in the dugout and bounces off someone in a Nanners uniform.
Not sure who that was down there.
Looks like Vinny DeRubius.
No, I think that's a Bananas t-shirt.
Now that plays.
I think they're getting ready for a promo down there.
Keep
Speaking
our eyes.
of Bananas t-shirts,
Yeah.
how about Bananas jerseys and CC Sabathia in the building? He is a large man. I mean, I figured he's gonna be a pretty sizable dude, but get to see him in real life really just showed you how big he was.
That one rocketed to right, and Jason Swan has the second Party Animals hit of the evening.
And that had to have been pretty cool for you, Pico, being the lifelong Yankees fan that you are.
I got to chat with CC for a little bit pregame. It was an incredibly cool moment.
Not too shabby. Also got to chat with what is probably my favorite player, baseball player that is, DR Meadows. Heard he joined you guys up in the booth. Good to have that guy back and his beautiful smile and his charisma, as Coach Reggie says.
Yeah, DR got to wax poetic about Reggie on the pregame show. Now our donut hitter, Joe Lytle, a dangerous man, hitting in the 8-hole. Cuts and misses at the tight slider from Ryan Kellogg. Lytle, the catcher, kid out of Oklahoma City, hitting .316, a .391 on base percentage, slugging .444. Really not much more you can ask from man in that catching tandem with Dalton Cornett and Mike Vivacis.
And since coming back from this injury, he's been quite consistent for the Party Animals, averaging almost a hit per game since coming back. And a guy who, believe it or not, 2 for 4 against Ryan Kellogg, despite being tonight's donut batter.
If Lytle goes down on strikes, the 271st straight sold-out Bananas crowd will all be gifted a free donut courtesy of Duncan, and Ryan Kellogg is now 1 strike away from achieving that feat.
And this might not be the biggest stadium we've played in by any measure on the tour, but last night when that donut guy stepped in for the first at-bat last night, it was rocking.
Swanee on the move. That one bounces off the second deck, and we'll do another 2-2 offering.
Some would say big noise from the Big Apple, Kyle.
Some would say that, and I imagine, it might be a little stereotypical, but I think the people of New York love their donuts.
It's not stereotypical, it's just a fact.
Well, I think, if there's any police force that's famous, I would say it's the NYPD, and the stereotype that goes with that is cops like donuts.
This is very true. This one out of SIUH Community Park, and Deuce is still wild here.
He's definitely not making it easy, but yeah, it was rocking and rolling last night. It's pretty loud tonight, too. I would say just about the same. If people want their donuts, man, I could go for one.
That one high, Swanee off on the pitch, and oh, Swan gunned down at second. Magnificent sliding tag from the glove magician Ryan Cox.
And Bill Leroy not shocked at all that he was able to throw out Jason Swan there. How about the athletic play by Ryan Cox as he's sliding in, just trying to catch the ball, just happens to place that tag on Jason Swan. Oh my goodness.
First time in 11 tries that Jason Swan has been caught stealing.
I'm glad you added that, Beaker. I was going to say, I feel like we never throw him out. And Bill trusts in his shortstop there, Ryan Cox, that he's going to get to the bag, doing his part, throwing it right to the right of the bag, where, he's got to get his body and his glove in position just to catch the ball. And if he catches it, it's going to be where he needs it and on the money for a tag.
Yeah, props have to go to your twin Prince of Banana Land, Mr. Leroy, as we've got a sing-off here song, you're the piano man.
Sing us a song tonight. We're all in the mood for a melody. Everybody's feeling all right.
Good job. Man, you really hit that high harmony as well, Biko.
Figured we all have our role here.
I think we do, and I think we really harmonize well. What do we got next?
Oh.
Shut up
and dance with me.
Okay.
This woman is my destiny.
Here it comes. Whoa, whoa, shut up and dance with me. 2 for 2. It's got to be an option for us to win this.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to say the boys in the booth are victorious.
I'd like to shake your hand before we sing this last song and actually look in the eye and congratulate you, by the way, on 100 Ks.
Thank you, Josh. Your melt of it was beautiful. I wanna rock and roll all night and party every day. I wanna rock and roll all night and party every day. Is Biko, Josh, and Kyle.
I don't know how we didn't win that. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
They're literally all cheering for us.
Cole.
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
I don't get that at all.
Hashtag rigged. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I don't understand that. in the
Hogwash.
slightest. Yeah. Malarkey, some people would say.
Oh, you were reading my mind,
Yeah.
Kyle.
Yeah, I am.
Boulder Dash.
Some would say, boing.
Bill Leroy leading off the bottom of the second inning. The Niners just need one run to claim the first point in tonight's ball game. 7-8-9 for the boys in yellow.
And that gets me thinking, I think that, one of these games in the future, maybe we should do an inning where we just commentate and color it with noises, sound effects.
Welcome in to the Bananas Sound Effects second inning.
I would need to look up a couple more, though. I know Biko's got a bunch on tap.
Got a few in my arsenal. 3-1 count now on Bill, who does have the pop to end this inning in one fell swoop. He has one homer on the tour. It was a walk-off blast in San Jose. Squirts this one to second. Dustin Baber, the Party Animals trick play king, goes between the legs for his 67th trick play in 73 attempts.
And you talked last night about how this turf was moving kind of slow. That was something Dan Oberst mentioned with us. That ball actually seemed like it got on Dustin Baber quite fast, but still enough time to transfer that between the legs in very smooth fashion and get the Party Animals on the board in the trick play department.
Now Jackson Olsen gets his second straight start at third as this one's out of the ballpark. Back and better than ever, and protecting that million upon million follower face that he has that got smoked by a pickoff attempt by Dylan Porter in Kannapolis, North Carolina. Baber tries for a superstar play, sends it to the back wall. Olsen is going to grab an extra base on only the 9th error on the tour by Derek Ginger.
Very good base awareness there for Jackson getting into scoring position. And oh my goodness gracious, we're going to have a new pinch runner for Jackson Olsen. It's going to be Mr. Electric, Christian Dearman.
Kyle, did you know about this?
I had no idea. And I'm kind of mad that, for once, I'm mad that I'm in the booth right now because I feel like I could have thrown my hat in there. I'm a phenomenal base runner.
I believe it. Last time you were running the bases in a game was August 15th, 2020 in a Bananas versus Catawba Valley Stars baseball game.
That is true. That is correct. Yes.
Thank you.
That feels right.
It was on a single that you had, an infield single at that, which preceded your home run.
That is correct. Thank you for bringing that up.
Can't
I'll
forget
talk
it.
about that anytime you'd like.
It's burned into my brain as Noah Bridges, with 11 walk-offs on the tour, trying to add to the tally, behind 0-2 against the crafty southpaw Brandon Sherman. Make it a 1-2 count.
Yeah, and you're already seeing some
Oh,
aggression
here's that
out
funky
there
tune.
from Mr. Electric. Look at the moves, but this is a guy pulsating there by second base, and he's taking some very sizable leads as Bridges chops this to Dustin Baber. And boy, a good play by Baber, throwing crossbody to retire Noah Bridges, but it's Dearman moving up to third base.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Josh. I just can't control myself when that song comes on.
Well, you lose your mind a little bit, huh?
Yeah, I don't even know the name of it. I just hear it, and it tells my body to move, and it tells me to scream.
I'm not upset. It's a perfectly reasonable thing to have happen.
Yeah.
The ricochet lands in fans' food on the first road, right behind home plate.
Right over there in a row with Melissa.
Chase Acuff attacking, bobbles the ball. Dalton Malden has his fourth walk-off on the tour. Mr. Electric scores, and the Nanners are up 1-0 after 2 innings.
It's always wonderful to see Dalton Malden get a walk-off for the Bananas. The first we've seen since the Bananas took on the Blue Crabs, and here you just saw the slow roller from Dalton Malden, and it is really hard sometimes, especially when you guys are not playing on turf very often, to be able to field those balls. But the Bananas get on the board first, and we've got Maceo and the boys who look like they're ready for an electric player dance.
For your players.
Well, another incredible boogie led by Maceo Harrison. The party animals involved Sean Fluke, Tucker Perry, Jake Lealios, and Colin Ledbetter. On the Nanner side, it was Alex Ziegler, Vinny DeRubius, Malachi Mitchell, and how about this? Will Reeve, Zach Phillips involved as well. Will Reeve from Good Morning America getting involved.
How about them apples? And we're going to get another shot at the donut man, Joe Lytle, as he's here to kick it off in the top of the third for the party animals. And I've just got to point out how wild of a sentence that was for the Bananas to win that inning in a walk-off that involved a Dalton Malden single or an error that scored Christian Dearman. I don't think anybody expected that sentence to happen before the tour started.
Mind-boggling. Joe Lytle, a donut hitter with a 1-1 count on him. It is 8, 9, and 10 for the party animals here in the top of the third inning. Ryan Kellogg back out on the bump. Big
Pretty
bender
good pitch there.
just misses the outside corner. Kyle would have loved it to be called a strike.
That might be a little biased. There's one.
Fans would have liked it too. Joe disagreed with Vincent Chapman's call there.
That's got to be a strike if the other one was.
I agree.
It's one of those calls you make up for, I think.
I don't even think it's a makeup call.
Peter misses down and out, and the count runs full on the party animals catcher. Dustin Baber on deck, Chase Acuff in the hole. Swing and a miss! The full capacity crowd here in Staten Island gets free donuts thanks to Duncan.
And it's Ryan Kellogg with a pretty big smile on his face after retiring Joe Lytle there. I think that was a situation where Joe Lytle really got in his own head after getting that second strike called. And eventually, when he got in that 3-2 count, just got overly aggressive, wound up swinging at that breaking ball from Kellogg.
Could have had himself a sprint, which are rarely handed out by the 6'6" southpaw, who has his second strikeout of the night and starts Dustin Baber off with that big curveball down and in. Pretty Animals second baseman, the kid out of Babson Park, Florida, will have to wait while Kellogg, Cox, Malden, and Hosley all do a choreographed dance. And as much as I love watching you do the 3-2-2s, Kyle, you absolutely kill them. Jake Lialios probably is as skilled a 3-2-2er as we've ever seen. I don't think anybody brings me as much joy as Ryan Kellogg moving that big old body of his around.
I don't take any insult there. I love seeing people get out of their comfort zone and getting thrown into one of those things, because I know how much work on the back end of it goes into it, and how much you practice it, whether you say you do or you don't. You'll find them, in the corners of the stadiums or in the bathroom, watching in the mirror and listening to the sound over and over again. But, I've got to say probably my favorite outside of myself is probably Brett Helton. He does a great job.
Oh, Brett, his eyes are so intense. Oh! Speaking of intense, Dalton Malden under the leg for a trick play in out number 2.
And that is now 30 trick plays for Dalton Malden this season. And this is a move we saw him break out last season during the summer series. And every time it's Malden catching one between the legs at second, it is something to absolutely marvel at. What a play.
Dalton Malden, you're mad. Release a song on Friday. Walk it off in the bottom of the second. Trick play in between the legs in the top of the third.
Now Chase Acuff shoots that one, scooped on a dive by Eric Jones Jr., who will have to take it himself. Wanted his second trick play of the night with Ryan Kellogg, but the St. Pete kid was barreling down the line. And Kellogg in a groove now. A 1-2-3 frame. Nanners for the second straight inning just need a run to win it.
And that's got to be a really fun inning for Ryan Kellogg to be a part of. You strike out the donut hitter, you get a trick play from your second baseman, and a defensive gem from Eric Jones Jr., and it gets you out of the third inning in 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Come on.
That'll do. We'll throw it down to Mac Rayford, the young professor, for a family dizzy race. We'll be back with Cowboy Kyle after this.
And the Tejeda family. Mano y mano, here we go. You guys ready? All right, let's get in your home plate. Let's do heads on the bat. On your marks. Everybody, heads down, marks, get set, spin. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, go. Oh, she goes down quick. You better go. Your family's dependent on you. Go, go, go. And they're all still spinning. Moms, go faster. Moms, go faster. Here we go. First base is there. They're a little wobbly. It's difficult. Here they go. Here come the moms. Moms are tagged in. Go, moms, go. They don't know where they are. Alvarado family in the lead. She's got a little bit of semblance of where she's at, but the dads are remarkably dizzy. And here we go. There's the tag. He's outside. He's inside. Here they go. With a comfortable. He touches the plate first. Give it up for the Alvarado family.
Well, always a delight when we can get the family together and dizzy them up.
Nothing I love more than dizzy people running around a lot faster than they should be running.
Couldn't agree more. The Shermanator out for his third frame on the bump as Joe Lytle goes between his legs.
On the money.
That was on the tag.
Yeah, that's right there.
That was even better than Bill Leroy's throw down to second to nab Jason Swan back in the second inning.
It's the game within the game, you know. You want to outdo the guys in pink. The guys in pink want to outdo the guys in yellow. Whether it's winning innings or not, you can do a lot of cool things on the field outside of the game.
And start the bottom of the third at the top of the Bananas lineup. Eric Jones Jr. reached on a trick play, missed in the first, came around to score the inning tying run. And nothing cheap about getting aboard there. That is a line drive single. The potential inning winner is aboard.
Yeah, just a good barrel off the bat of Eric Jones Jr. there after going 0 for 4 last night. Really good to see him line a base hit to left field. And surprised that the Party Animals weren't shaded a little more for Eric Jones to pull, as he's gotten over 50% of his hits that have gone to the left side of the field.
Michael D plunked his first time and nearly hit again. It was the fastball his first time in there, and now he does the Reggie dance to get himself back into barrel mode.
And you got to say, you know, with this being, what is this, the 72nd game?
Nailed it.
It's got to be really cool to see, you know, with the large sample size we have. Everybody's spray chart, I know for you especially, Josh, I know that you really love those kind of things, but, you know, to see people's tendencies, even, you know, pitchers, what they like to go to, defensive shifts, all that kind of beautiful stuff that's, you know, the behind the scenes of baseball and banana ball is cool to finally see it, you know, start to get seen from a larger sample.
Kyle, if I was a walking, talking human track man, I would love to break down the percentages of fastballs to sliders to even some of your cutters that you throw.
Maybe we should do it over a biscuit one time or a bagel. I don't know. Maybe if we're feeling crazy, a steak. Whatever you like.
Wolf?
It won't be a snack, though. I know you don't like snacking.
Nope.
One out of the stadium, and Sherm's battled back from 3-0, now a 3-2 count. Brandon's a guy who has experience pitching in Staten Island before. He was a Long Island Duck in 2019 and 2021 here in the Atlantic League. Payoff pitch, nowhere close to the zone. EJ was off on it. Party Animals get it around the infield quickly. Now to the outfield, and a stop sign for Eric Jones Jr. Actually, no sign at all, and he gets back to the bag safely. According to Randy Voss, we'll see if the Party Animals challenge, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting call. You see the guys kind of contemplating it over there in the third base dugout. And it was Eric Jones Jr. who was just kind of caught halfway for some reason. Really a baffling decision by EJ, but it looks like Dustin Baber was not able to handle the ball in the glove there. So they're going to stay with the call on the field. Now runners on the corners for the Bananas with Dan Oberst in the box.
Yeah, really uncharacteristic. I don't know what the conversation between EJ and Gillum was down there, but it almost looked like Gillum was just kind of just along for the ride and running wherever EJ decided he wanted to go.
I really think he gave Eric Jones Jr. zero direction.
You got it. You got it, my boy.
Figure it out, bro. Michael Deeb only with one steal on the tour, and it was a steal of first base, trying to double that tally. And we have the matchup of Long Island kids. Dan Oberst to fly out his first time. Grew up out on the island up until he was 8 years old, and the family moved down to Largo, Florida, where he truly calls his hometown, but still oodles of family in the area. And he said probably close to 100 family and friends at the ballpark tonight, trying to make them happy. Now count at 1 and 2.
Yeah, and like you said, Sherman being familiar with these parts, he's always, you know, on one or a different level.
Yes.
Just about every game we're playing, but it was really cool to see him before these games, and even here yesterday before they weren't playing. Just the, you know, it sensed like it felt a little different for him. You know, the moment was really big for him. He was very, very excited for it, and kind of a little toned down and a little bit more quiet. I think he was approaching this one a little bit more seriously.
We'll have him on the broadcast a little later on tonight to break down his first banana ball start in his home state. Big 1-2 pitch here, fouled off. Fans could help him out. They fail to. Man in a visor.
Oh.
Well, I doubt this one. I gotta be honest. We'll see if it holds. It hit off the man in the visor and then ended up in the kid's hands. Hopefully we can get a replay. I don't know if we had a camera on it. For now, it's a foul ball caught by a fan for a huge first out for the Party Animals. But I can promise you, I saw that thing claying off the man's hands and end up in the kid's lap next to him.
I mean, you've got great eyes. I don't know if you have your contacts in or not, but
I do.
I mean, you've got, you know, just about as good. Oh my God, that one's blasted down into the bullpen over there towards Tucker. But yeah, I think if you can get your eyes on it, you're going to make the right call just about 99.97% of the time.
I appreciate the confidence. It is officially in the scorebook in pen as an FAN, foul out to fan. Tough one for Dan Oberst. D-Mac had a laser beam RBI single to tie the first inning. Brought in Eric Jones Jr., who is waiting 90 feet away, hoping to be the inning winning run here in the third. Party Animals looking to turn two in the infield. Look, the knuckle drop there. Count even at 2-2.
I'm interested to see if any other pitcher out there throws the knuckle drop or any variation of a knuckle drop. Because I would say that's exactly what it is. It's just interesting. I've never heard of it before until this.
Deep takes off. A strikeout of Dakota McFadden. The ball gets away from Baber. Eric Jones Jr. scores the inning-winning run. A walk-off from the Nanners first baseman, stealing home. As Deeb grabs only his second steal of the tour, and it is the Big Boppers using their legs to double the point total for the Nanners. They're up 2-0.
Yeah, and that was really good heads-up base running by Eric Jones Jr., who noticed that Dustin Baber was not able to corral that ball into his glove, immediately took off, and there was nothing Baber could do. He couldn't even challenge a throw home there, as the Bananas will celebrate another walk-off.
And they all hurl Crocs, shoes, boots, all kinds of things towards the netting. We will pop up into the booth. 3 innings in the books. It is magic time here in BTV land.
That's right, Biko. And we have so many elite world-class athletes here in Banana Land. And so, Biko, if I asked you to name another top 100 athlete of all time, who would you say? Do you know who you'd say?
I would say Roger Federer.
Roger Federer. Now, Biko, before any of this, in the way beginning of the day, I came to you and I said, I'm not going to tell you what this is for, but I want you to hold on to this envelope. Do you have that envelope?
I do.
It's a super secret prediction. I'll take it from you because, Biko, inside this envelope, I have a picture of the very athlete you just named, Roger Federer. I have a picture of Roger Federer that I drew. This is him. This is Roger Federer running on the tennis court. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, this is ridiculous because what if I was thinking of, say, Serena Williams? Well, guess what, Biko? I have a picture for her, too. It works for anybody. It doesn't matter. See, it works for anybody, Biko. You could have said anybody. This is a little ridiculous. What would have been cooler, though, is if I put Roger's face on the back.
Ah! Come on, Jake!
That would have been cooler. Yeah.
Ah!
How does this? I don't get it. I just don't get it. How many pictures of athletes do you have in there?
Why?
I've got, I can show you guys at home that's the,
Oh, now
all
it's
we
not
have
so
in the envelope,
top secret.
too. Yeah. The secret's out. The secret's out here in Banana Land.
I hope you've got a backup envelope to pull this one off again.
The envelope is very replaceable, but you guys, however, are not very replaceable. You guys do an amazing job. Thank you for having me back on the Banana Ball broadcast.
Golly. Jake, you're getting better and better every time.
Appreciate it, Biko.
I can't fathom it. I don't understand. I don't understand.
I think I'm more starstruck with his drawing abilities.
They were spot on.
I mean, the magic is, you know, out of this world, but so is the drawing. I mean, instantly, as soon as he pulled it out, I knew that was Serena Williams and that was Roger Federer.
He is open sesameing my world
Yeah.
to just new things.
He's blowing my pants off.
There is our young fan and his dad who combined talents in one way or another to ascertain that foul ball from Dan Oberst. Big looping curveball to steal strike one against Reese Hampton. Top of the order for the Party Animals here in the top of the fourth. And with an 0-1 count, Vincent Chapman calls time, dusts off home plate, and throws about every article he has on his persons away so that he can break it down like only Vince can. Speaking of a magic man, magical the way that guy can move his body.
Yeah, I mean, not too many times you'll see in a game on a turf field umpires calling time to get rubber pellets off of home plate, but rightfully so. He just needed to move that tookish, and boy did he.
Hampton doubled down the left field line his first time. Scored the run in the inning in the first that prevented the Bananas from winning it. This one out of the facilities.
Just curious, we don't have anybody on top of the stadium.
Nobody on the roof here, as we did in Indianapolis to snag a Bryson Bloomer foul ball for an out.
It's information people need to know. There's
no
another one.
employee X's that I have heard of.
Right.
Hampton battling. Cornette on deck. Thomas in the hole. The 6'6" lefty, Ryan Kellogg, fires another big bender, a sword for Reese Hampton. And strikeout number 3 for our Canadian starter. Boy.
I don't know if Kellogg's going to get the ball back. Bill's holding a frame for longer than I've ever seen in my life. He's still got it.
I mean, you talk about one of the best breaking balls I think we've seen Ryan Kellogg throw in his banana ball career. One that really fired him up. And I'm not sure I've ever seen Reese Hampton take just a worse swing on this tour.
I think that is the worst swing that the former Tigers and Diamondbacks minor leaguer has shown us so far here in 2023.
And he had a couple good fastballs in there early, too, that didn't get called.
Dalton Cornette gives it a ride. Michael Deeb tries to go behind his back, comes up empty. And Cornette is going to have 2 bases on the trick play missed. Now Deeb 6 for 9 on the tour in his attempts.
Again, we saw Michael Deeb last night, who went for the barehanded trick play and was able to successfully convert it. And here wanted to stay aggressive, as his good buddy Reginald Horton would tell him to do, but Deeb unable to come up with that one. And Dalton Cornette kind of stopped hustling midway after rounding the first base bag. I think if he had continued to run out that ball, that might have been a situation where he could have gotten to third base on that play.
Slider fools Tanner Thomas. And a sac fly his first time to drive in Hampton. That one out of the stadium. And it will be an 0-2 pitch coming from the pride of Whitby, Canada, to the kid out of Fleming Island, Florida.
And Biko, as you mentioned, Deeb now 6 for 9 on the tour in trick plays. I think he's probably one of the most, if not the most, guys on the Bananas roster that is going to be sure.
Laser beam into the stands, not caught.
He is going to be sure that he can pull off this trick play, or he has the best feel, I would say, on when to pull the trigger on trick plays amongst any of the Bananas defenders that they'll employ, and it's something that I really admire.
And I think that's exactly why you saw Michael Deeb try that trick play right there, as Kellogg will miss outside. You're up 2 points, and you've got nobody on in the inning with an out already. That's perfect banana ball feel for Michael Deeb.
Definitely, and a guy like Kellogg continuing to fill up the zone early and really commanding all of his pitches in the zone has been great to see.
Yeah, you get the feeling if you're the defense behind Ryan Kellogg, this is a guy who's not going to allow free runners on the base paths. As he's got Dalton Cornette picked up here, Ryan Cox is going between the legs on the pickle play. And can the Bananas snap Cornette? They will! That's got to be a trick play in the books.
It certainly is. 114 now on the season for Ryan Cox, as Jackson Olsen puts the finishing touches on and tags Dalton Cornette just a handful of times on the cleat there to be sure that they got him out.
And just phenomenal fundamental baseball there. Kellogg giving another second to hold the flash from Cox, as he's going to get a ground ball with a chance to end it in between the legs. Trick play, there it is. 115.
I would be surprised if the Party Animals don't challenge this one. Tanner Thomas and Sam Claycamp think that Mr. Thomas was safe. See what happens in the Party Animals dugout as the Nanners are clearing the field. Looks like they're going to let it lie.
Yeah, we continue to see this situation a little more and more for the Party Animals. They really love to use the challenge, but they are realizing that this is not a situation where they don't want to possibly have a situation where the evidence cannot overturn that play, lose the challenge, and then not have it later in the game where it might be at a more crucial point in the ballgame.
John Byrne umpiring over at first tonight with the emphatic out call. And it's hey baby time in Banana Land for our great folks in the control room back in Savannah. Once hey baby time has finished up, I would love to see a slow-mo replay of that one at first, because my eyes told my brain that Tanner Tinder Thomas was safe.
I mean, your eyes are as good as they come. I don't think I need to compliment them any more than I already have, but you know, if they're not going to use the challenge there, it never hurts to get a practice in, you know. You could treat it as if it was a challenge and see how well you would have done.
It's kind of what I'm thinking here.
I like that.
We've got to be on our grind. Ryan Cox does indeed get his 115th trick play.
And as the boys in pink and in yellow are going to hey baby it out. A couple cool points that I wanted to point out was VIB. I got to see one of my favorite fans, probably not, if not, you know, outside of my family or closest friends. Steve Kellogg is in the building tonight. It was fantastic to see him at VIB.
Safe by a mile.
I would say a mile, but
Mile with my eyes, brah.
yeah. Okay, now I'm starting to question your eyes. But anyways, great seeing Steve Kellogg again in the building, as well as tonight is Bryson Wheeler, our baseball kind of behind the scenes intern, clubby, trackman extraordinaire. It's his last game on the tour tonight as he ships back off to college. And he's been nothing short of fantastic, and I hope that we get to see a lot more of him next year.
That's an absolute fact. Just there's no one better at baseball ops than Bryson. Boy, he has been tremendous, not only for you, Kyle, but for us broadcast boys as well, especially as he's taken over a majority of the TrackMan data.
We've got a special walk-up coming here. Danny Hosley starting in the stands. The Nanners preparing for him to get to home plate. The game at a standstill. As the walk-up begins. And once again, Will Reeve, a part of the action, down with the Nanners. Good to see the Good Morning America correspondent getting in on a whole lot of the fun tonight. Big lift from Nolan Daniel. Zach Phillips and Jared Donaldson get in on the fun. Oh, Danny Hosley learned that 3 days ago, and he's backflipping in front of 7,000. That man has to be gassed for his at-bat.
I mean, phenomenal stuff. A couple things to note there. Nolan Daniel filling in for me, as I told him he might need to do so if I was still on the broadcast. Phenomenal fill-in job. And, yeah, like you pointed out, Danny Hosley I think he could learn any skill or trick in the world and be able to pretty much master it in a matter of a day or two.
Tucker Perry, the new man on the mound, steals a strike on the outside corner. Good frame there by Joe Lytle. Perry's been an opener lately for the Party Animals, getting a handful of 2-inning starts. And the guy who primarily throws fastball slider. And that fastball's got a whole lot of sinking movement to it. And out of Pawleys Island, South Carolina, USC Aiken, Concord University, and USCB plunks Danny Hosley right in the keister. And he throws down his helmet in disgust. Haas furious that he's been hit. And we'll walk to first. Kind of thought there'd be more to that.
Not sure where that got him.
Looks like it kind of got him on the lower leg, probably somewhere around where he's got those socks pulled up.
Oh, not on the keister in the slightest.
It's a calf shot.
Pico's eyes were way off.
You're not that good, man.
No.
Your eyes are just not what they used to be a couple innings ago.
Yeah, I've come down to earth quickly. Hosley picked off at first. He was trying to swipe second, and Tucker Perry nabs him.
And that's not the first pickoff we've seen this season from Tucker Perry at all. I mean, a guy who will allow some hit-by pitches and some sprints, which has really been the big thing that's held him back on this tour. But a remarkable job at throwing off batters who are on first base, especially when you consider how funky he is coming set to the plate, able to nab Hosley there.
Now, I was going to say, before he got picked off, that hit by pitch to Danny there really reminded me of some of the pitches that I was throwing in the John Boy warehouse with the blitz balls a couple days ago. I mean, those things they move like 6 or 8 feet. You don't really know quite where to start it. I threw a bunch of them behind some guys there, but it just reminded me of a blitz ball memory I have from a couple days prior.
I'm sure the people will get to see it in the near future. John Boy Media and the great people who work there chop those videos up and put them on the YouTube. Base knock for Ryan Cox, who's 1 for 2 on the night, and for the second time in the inning. The potential inning-winning run is aboard.
And Split is out there in center field with his legs atop his head in a clapping motion for Bill Leroy.
Trying to do his best Billy Squire stroke clap. Bill grounded into a trick play by Dustin Baber his first time, the 6-year Banana. All 6 of those campaigns rooming with our good buddy in the booth, Cowboy Kyle Lewis. Have you gotten sick of him, Kyle?
I have not, but I hope in this instant, as that ball is going to get the backstop and Cox is going to get the second, I hope that we see some Lil Baroy content here in this at-bat instead of Bill Leroy. For those watching at home, Lil Baroy is the new hitter that Bill has pretty much induced over, probably 3/4 of the tour. He's adopted a leg kick, and it's got him quite the amount of power than he had whenever Bill had the beginning of the tour.
Right.
Same person, different identity.
Right, and it's all because of the leg kick.
Yeah, no doubt. No freaking doubt. Oh.
Another hit batter. This one right above the tuchus. And boy, Bill is down for the count. He is really hurting here. I think this might be a serious injury for the Bananas captain. No! He's better than ever, and he's putting a hard 90 down to first.
Oh, no, he doesn't. He's not content with 90. He wants, what is that, 318? No, didn't get all the way out there.
Looked like about 270 to me.
He's just trying to put an NFL Combine mark out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can really ask. That one got him in the tushy.
That was square off the derriere.
Good for him. He's got one of the bigger ones on either side.
Donk and a half.
Don't sell yourself short, Pico. I can feel yourself getting jealous.
Oh,
it's
no,
okay.
no.
I still think highly of your backside.
I know what I've got back there. I'll take on Bill Leroy any day. The old Keister department. Big cut and a miss from Jackson Olsen. Single his first time, ended up coming around to score the inning-winning run in the second, and then behind 1 and 2.
And I did see some comments in the comment section asking if we were holding off on Jackson running the bases for a bit. And I think that's probably our smartest strategy. I think that, anytime we can get him comfortable again with hitting and playing the field, we'll get the base running whenever we can knock that off. But I can say that he did eat and chew Taco Bell last night for dinner.
That is a big step.
No matter how soft that food is, he is still doing the act of chewing now.
That's right. It was Christian Dearman pinch running for Jackson Olsen, who scored the inning run in the second.
Yes.
Noah Bridges, a healthy hack and a miss. Tried to send that one into the New York Harbor. Nanners have scored a run in each of the 3 innings tonight. Tucker Perry trying to stop that trend. Ryan Cox leading off second, represents the potential inning-winning run with 2 outs.
And you're seeing a slight shift from the Party Animals defense right now with Bridges up at the plate, usually a pull-heavy hitter. It's Dustin Baber who has moved kind of more to the right side and into that shallow outfield grass, and Chase Acup, he's still on the left side of that second base bag, but playing very closely, maybe just in case Tucker Perry wants to try another pickoff with Ryan Cox on second.
Whole lot of open real estate in the 6-hole. If Bridges can fight one off and send it the other way here on the 1-2. Make it 2 and 2 with 2 outs.
And also add Jason Swan over there at first base. He's playing relatively close to that first base line as well.
That one bounced up the middle, diving stop Dustin Baber. He tries to throw to first. That's not going to do it. Cox scores from second, and the Bananas are up 3 points to nothing on the infield single by Noah Bridges. 12th walk-off of the tour for the social media darling. And how apropos is this celebration? As we honor all the military members in attendance tonight and get another look at the play by Dustin Baber. Just an ill-advised throw. He didn't have a chance in the world to get the very speedy Noah Bridges there. Easy to be a Monday morning quarterback, but that's one you got to put in your back pocket. Let's take a look at some fan art here, and boy, oh boy, is this some magical fan art. Unbelievable. How about Seth Cates? As we all get our heads close enough to really see this thing. He went on an artistry spree, and we have a message from him as well. He says, "Hello, Pico, Josh, Chad, Kyle, and the rest of the BTV crew. I have really enjoyed watching all of the broadcasts starting in February and catching some of the YouTube short highlights, and it has become something I look forward to on game days. I grew up watching afternoon games before they added lights, Cub games on WGN, and came to know the personalities of the broadcasters and players like Ryan Sandberg, Andre Dawson, Mark Grace, Dustin, Greg Maddox, etc. I had not followed a baseball team regularly for the last 15 to 20 years, but the Banana Ball rules. Dancing and personalities have brought out all that a 7 or 8-year-old kid loved in watching baseball. I started drawing art and looking at baseball cards, so when I reconnected to that part of my younger self, when illustrating favorite players, I decided to take it to Banana Ball." Seth Cates, you are an absolute whiz. These are incredible.
Absolutely phenomenal. I was lucky to make it in there twice, and I think even more lucky to be included in the BTV crew. I feel like that's the first time that I've got mentioned as, you know, being a part of the, you know, something bigger than myself and something that is BTV crew, which is up there for me.
Welcome to the crew, man.
It makes me want to cry.
You
makes me
made it
slightly
to the bigs.
I feel like it. I hope I get to stick around for a little bit.
Well, we'll see. It's on a kind of a game-by-game basis, buddy.
So I see.
So far, so good tonight, though. So
That's good.
I think we'll pencil you in for Hartford. That'll be on Monday night as this Northeast tour, or at least leg, of the 2023 Banana Ball World Tour, loved by Zappos.
And here comes
to trudge on.
Big Papa, it looks like.
That makes sense. Jake Skoll is certainly Big Papa. He is the cleanup man for the Party Animals. It'll be 4, 5, 6. The meat of their order here in the top of the 5th inning. First inning was tied at a run apiece, but since then, the Bananas have won the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. They lead by 3 in the all-important points category. And a front door curveball gets strike 1 to Skoll.
And it's been a very consistent offensive night for the Bananas overall. They've scored in every inning to this point. And now a pop-up coming behind home plate. It's Bill Leroy ranging over, trying to barehand it. And that is an unfortunate trick play missed from Bill Leroy.
And just another one that you're going to see there, you know. The Bananas feel very confident with their 3-inning lead. Kellogg's filling it up and continuing to fill it up here early in the top of the 5th with an 0-2 count on Skoll, and you know, guys are trying to push that boundary of what trick plays they can pull off.
Always tough to give a second life to the man slugging .624, second best on the tour, only to Reese Hampton, who fouls that one out of the premises. Kellogg did strike out Skoll. A nasty 1-2 slider his first time. Gives him the same pitch, this one chopped foul. Counts to 0-2. Grayson Bloomer on deck, Garrett Delano in the hole. And Kellogg continues to fill up the zone. It is just a really fun pitcher to watch.
And we saw him get the strikeout of Jake Skoll in the first at-bat. Ryan Kellogg, to this point, has still not thrown a ball to Jake Skoll in this ballgame. And
Look
classic
what you,
broadcasters, Jake.
Look what you did there, Josh.
There it is.
All right, you're in timeout for the rest of this at-bat.
Sounds good. Thank you, Kyle.
See ya.
That one didn't even make it to home plate. And, I thought Josh might be back. How about Hera?
Yeah, tell me some more details on our bullpen catcher of the night, if you've got some.
She was a co-worker of myself and Yvonne Trezak's over at MLB Network in our Secaucus days, an incredible producer at the network. Excellent person to work under, incredible personality, and really talented baseball player as well. Plays in amateur leagues here in the New York, Jersey area. How about that strikeout there? Bill Leroy bowls it to Eric Jones Jr., who grabs it between the legs, and he wants a trick play. We're going to give it to him.
You're out of timeout, Josh. Go ahead.
Thank you, Kyle. I want to say that's a double trick play from Bill Leroy and Eric Jones Jr. with Bill not only rolling it up the line there, but EJ going between the legs.
And then rolls it to Kellogg, who kicks it up twice and catches it barehanded. I mean, the guys in yellow are just mad tonight.
Who says these guys aren't athletes? Come on now.
Not me.
Grayson Bloomer 0 for 1, grounded out to first back in the second. And everybody watching at home, you have just witnessed the first ever at-bat in Banana Ball history where a player missed a trick play and then got a trick play. Bill Leroy, 1 for 2 in trick plays in that Jake School plate appearance.
That's a really good point, Pico, and I think that's really become a staple of Bill's arsenal and a part of his catching game is, you know, almost daunting the hitter after getting out is, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to roll the ball faster than you down to first base. As if we were playing cricket, that would have counted as a strike as Kellogg bounces one about 45 foot in front of home plate.
Payoff pitch, misses inside. And there is the first ball four sprint allowed by Ryan Kellogg tonight. Great defense by the Nanners. They get it to all 7 fielders behind the pitcher and catcher in short order. And Bloomer held to just 1 base.
Yeah, you saw Bloomer hustling out of the box there, but the Bananas outfielders, despite being a little late to crash in there on the ball four sprint defense, just with excellent speed, especially from Danny Hosley and Noah Bridges. I mean, really no surprise at being able to get there around that second base bag and keep Bryson Bloomer, who was quite surprised that he had to hold up there and stay at first base, but a wise decision for him nonetheless.
Good hold there from Garrett Delano on the massive curveball from Ryan Kellogg. Garrett had good lumber his first time, lined out to center. Now even at 1-1. Bloomer over at first, tied for the Party Animals lead in stolen bases with Reese Hampton. The pair of them both 19 for 24 in their attempts. Excellent changeup there from Kellogg. Back ahead. They're ahead in the count for the first time now against Garrett Delano as Bill Leroy putting on a catching clinic tonight. Deadens that one off the turf.
And especially in this inning, we've seen Ryan Kellogg with quite a few breaking balls that have wound up right there in front of home plate. And credit to Bill Leroy, who has not allowed a runner to reach on a stolen base of first or advance on a wild pitch from Kellogg.
And I've got to say, you know, getting into this Staten Island ballpark a couple days ago, we were really excited, and I know Bill was very excited about getting back on that turf surface, especially around home plate. You know, with us doing 4 to 5 years in North Georgia on a turf field, he was really excited to get back into it.
After a full team dance, a shattered bat. And this one handled by Dalton Malden for out number 2.
That was that funky beat that I was talking about early, Pico, and I think all of my teammates share the enthusiasm with it as I do, and it just, I mean, it takes over your body. I can't put it into words.
It's that boom.
Yeah, don't stop. You're going to get me going again.
So good. Bloomer in scoring position now for Jason Swan, who singled to right his first time.
Kyle, what was it like for you last night pitching against the FerryHawks to get back on a turf mound? Did you feel like you had to adjust at all?
It was really cool. I know that they had put a new surface on the mound, on this mound specifically, before we played our game on it last night. Yeah, but it took me back to a bit of my Jacksonville State days. You know, I was only there for 1 year, so I didn't have a awful lot of time out on the turf mound, but it's just all about, you know, feeling it out, and it's just a little different from a dirt mound as it doesn't wear out over time, and you got to find a good spot in it.
Swanee sends it high into the New York sky. It comes down in the glove of Danny Hosley. Ryan Kellogg, after giving up a run in the first, has hurled 4 straight scoreless frames. And the Nanners once again just need a run to add to their point total tonight here in the bottom of the 5th.
And despite the Party Animals not being able to score in that inning, still a really pesky job by their batters. Ryan Kellogg had to throw 23 pitches to get through the 5th, an MPI at 6 minutes and 22 seconds, which has been off the norm for tonight.
T-shirt toss time here in Staten Island. We're watching the 72nd game on our tour, the 102nd Banana Ball game of all time, but only the 2nd to ever be played in my home state here in New York, and boy, oh boy, Looking at the Manhattan skyline, Jersey City off behind left field, Brooklyn out behind right field. Can imagine a better view and a better place for the first ever Banana Ball games here in the Empire State.
Yeah, really nice of you to touch on, all of the boroughs of New York City and, what makes this great city so great.
That's right, all the boroughs, Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Jersey City.
And, there's some other ones like the Bronx.
Yes.
Is one of them,
What's the fifth borough? Because obviously we're in Staten Island. That one's already checked off.
I can't remember the ones that you've already said, but I do know all 5 of them.
You have the Bronx,
yes,
Manhattan,
yes,
Brooklyn,
yes,
Staten Island,
and
Josh has it.
Jersey City.
Oh, Kyle.
Is that it?
Come on, man.
No.
That's in New Jersey.
I felt really good about it. I never know at this point on this leg of the tour if we have been in New Jersey or New York. Pretty much the whole time I've been here.
I couldn't agree more. They look very similar. It's Tyler Gillum got for us.
List hitter, Dakota Stilts Albritton.
While that fine gentleman down there is gifted a pair of Dolce and Banana tighty whities, Tyler Gillum announces that he's going to be the 10'9" Dakota Stilts Albritton, making his way from Ellaville, Georgia to the Big Apple, and faces off against the new man out of the pen for the Party Animals, Brett Helton. 1-0 count.
And this is going to be a very interesting bat that may unfold. The last time Stilt saw Brett Helton, it was in Savannah, and Dakota took him almost out to the warning track to left field in Grayson Stadium. The furthest hit ball we've ever seen from Stilts.
That foul ball caught by a fan. He didn't want to say it was caught, though. And he tried to throw the ball away, but he did, in fact, snag it.
Oh, he's hiding. He is hiding. He has his hands over his face, and he is ducking in his chair.
The Boo Birds have come out from the New York faithful. The fans are challenging that call on the field. I don't even need to look at this again. I mean, Zach Frangelo and Randy Voss are going to get the headsets on. Once again, boy, my eyes are quite a topic tonight. I saw it live, and there is no mistaking that that ball fell into that man's glove. Yeah, it's an out. We're good. I don't even need to see it again. Yep, that'll play.
And I think the Party Animals are going to attempt to get that man out of the stands, but I'm not sure that he's going to allow them to recognize him for getting Stilts out in that situation. Uh-oh.
How about the boos here from the Staten Island faithful? And how about the celebration from the umpires?
That is a heartbreaking at-bat for Dakota Stilts Albritton. Not only is it tough when you foul out to a fan, but before that plate appearance, he was 2 for 2 with a sprint against Brett Helton in his Banana Ball career.
And even though he doesn't have enough plate appearances to register for team stats, as Bryson Bloomer behind his back, so smooth. You could have blinked and missed it. The Boomer has his 29th trick play on the tour in 35 tries. What I was getting at is Stilts came into that at-bat hitting .368, 7 for 19, which leads the Bananas in batting average, albeit in a very small sample size. So EJ now 1 for 3. And Michael Deeb 0 for 0. Hit by a pitch, a one-base sprint, and a stolen base. Uncharacteristic game for a guy who loves to swing the lumber. And he gets a ball in his wheelhouse. That one...
Right in that wheelhouse.
Yeah, that one gets the top of the zone. Looked pretty similar to the pitch Deeb put out of the ballpark off Brett Helton in Kannapolis, North Carolina a month ago. 1-2 now. Check swing, did he go? No, says Randy Voss. 2 balls and 2 strikes here with 2 down and nobody aboard. Helton trying to break a 4-inning streak of the Bananas scoring. And that one lined up the middle. Michael Deeb stays red hot. He's on board for the 3rd time in as many tries tonight.
Well, Brett Helton has the lowest ball four sprint percentage of any pitcher on this year's tour. So Michael Deeb knew on a 2-2 count he wasn't likely to see Brett Helton even try and get him to chase with the pitch there. He attacks in the zone, and Deeb sat on that pitch, was able to drive it out to center field. Now back-to-back games for Deeb with a hit.
Malachi Mitchell pinch runs for Vitamin Deeb over at first. And Dan Oberst, a fly out to center and a fly out to a fan so far tonight.
And in an 0-1 count, I'm going to go ahead and put my yard card on Dan Oberst here, as the BP that he took the first day that we got to the ballpark is nothing short of silly, is the best way I can describe it. He was just parking balls on command to any part of the stadium whenever he wanted to.
0-2 count here. Brett Helton goes four-seam fastball, cutter, changeup, and curve. He checks on Malachi Mitchell, who is back safely. Brett was a two-way guy at the University of Utah out in Salt Lake, and drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 9th round back in 2015. Spent 4 years in their organization. That one fouled off. No, it's not. It swung on and missed. And the throw, what a cannon from Joe Lytle to finish the side. As the Bananas are held scoreless here in the 5th, it's still 3-0. Nanners lead. Athletic play from the Party Animals catcher to finish the side, as Matt Wolf being rolled out in his rodeo barrel by Tyler Gillum and Big Butta. Connor Higgins out there helping out. And Wolfie nails the dismount, as we will nail the dismount with Cowboy Kyle Lewicks. Boy, oh boy, it's been a blast, my dear friend. Thank you for devoting so much of your time to us tonight.
It was really nice. I love every chance I get to hang out with you guys, especially with this beautiful New York City skyline behind us. I'm going to give another shout out to what I thought was, one of the greatest moments that I've had in New York City, and that was getting to see Steve Kellogg again.
How many shout outs is that for Steve Kellogg? 2 shout outs for Steve Kellogg!
Sorry, I can't help myself. The guy's just incredible. And Steve, if you're listening to this, or if you watch it back, please don't send me any more movies until we finish the ones that we've already haven't seen.
Before you go, Kyle, what borough do the New York Mets play baseball in?
I'll see you guys after.
You're gonna beat yourself up. Queens,
New York,
Queens.
Kyle.
They play in Flushing, Queens, Kyle. It's okay. 4 out of 5 that's 80%. It's pretty good. And as we bid adieu to Kyle, say hello to Matt Wolf, we also welcome in a dear friend of ours, the starting pitcher for the Party Animals tonight, Mr. Brandon Sherman. How are you on this evening?
Ladies, gentlemen, I'm here, baby. This is my hometown. New York, baby. The best New York! I'm staring right at the city skyline. This is beautiful. Oh, this is awesome. It feels good to be back here. I'm so happy. I got a bunch of family here, got a bunch of friends here. This is amazing,
That was more than I could have ever dreamed for an intro from you, Sherm. You are in rare form tonight.
Fired up tonight, Big. I'm looking at these ships going by, the city skyline. There's nothing better than this, Pico. There's nothing better. Pitching in front of my my hometown folks here. My mom, my dad. Big shout out to my mom, my dad, my brother, his wife. My best friends are here.
Dalton Molden tries a jump throw, not in time. Infield single for your catcher, Joe Lytle, who's 1 for 2 on the night.
I got a lot of guys here, so I'm very blessed and very fortunate we can show them banana ball. It's been an incredible year so far, but I've been looking forward to this trip for a while, coming to New York to show all my people here what this is all about. So I'm very blessed and very fortunate enough, I just want to do a big shout out right now. Shout out to Jesse Cole, shout out to Adam Viren, shout out to Tyler Gillum, Vivacious, these guys, these guys are day in, day out, and also I want to say Emily Cole too. Just amazing. Emily is doing a lot for this organization. All of them just doing so much for this organization. It's just incredible. Without those few, this would not go on. So big shout out to those people. they're amazing. You know, they're very incredible. They're very, very incredible people. So tremendous shout out to them. Seriously. You know, hey, I wouldn't be standing here, you know, if it wasn't for all of them. So big shout out to all of them. You know, I mean, Jesse Cole, Emily Cole, you know, the Cole family, they're class acts. You know, I'm from New York, so I like to use that word, class act. You know, they are class act people, you know.
Well, class act, Dustin Baber just worked a full count, got himself a sprint. Joe Lytle will pump the brakes over at third. Babes, who had popped out into a trick play by his counterpart, Dalton Malden, the first time, is aboard, and your party animals with runners on the corners, nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning against Matt Wolf.
And that's another good job of sprint defense by the Bananas, being able to hold Baber there at first. And it was Joe Lytle who was taking off on the pitch, and Chase Acuff inside outing this pitch into left field, and the party animals are going to get on the board. Acuff just keeping that one tucked fair down that left field line.
Lytle comes on in to score. First time the party animals have put a run on the board since the first inning. That was tied at a run apiece.
I want to give another big shout out, you know, to Frances. She's our trainer in the locker room. You know, she's day in and day out working on all of us. You know, keeping us on the field, keeping us healthy. Tremendous shout out to Frances. You know, she is an amazing person. She's great. She knows her stuff too. She's a great trainer. So. Thank you, Frances. Thank you very much for everything. You're amazing, Frances.
That's the second shout out that Francis Gilbert has gotten on the broadcast tonight. DR Meadows started off our evening on the pregame show, shouting out the incredible Francis. And now jump throw, it is going to be up. We're back to the top of the order for the party animals. Reese Hampton, a double his first time, struck out in his second trip to the dish against Ryan Kellogg. Now a 360 pitch, fouled straight back. And the count is 2-1 on Reese.
Now, Sherm, I mean, about a year ago to this point, you came to the party animals in the summer series, and now, at this point in your career, getting to come back to your home state and pitch in a ball game, would you say that's the coolest point of your banana ball career so far?
You know, it's got to be one of the coolest points of my career so far. You know, I mean, about a year ago, I played on the Long Island Ducks. I played there. I played in the Zaria League in Brooklyn as well. So I mean, I've been around New York baseball for a while. So I mean, to play here with a big crowd like this, incredible. It's just incredible, you know. I mean, and to do it with all these guys is just amazing. It's just incredible, you know. It really is. I mean, I've played all over New York, just about every town, you know. I mean, I've been playing this game since I'm 5 years old. So I've played everywhere. I played from baseball heaven. I mean, guys that are from around here, they know about baseball heaven. I mean, I played tournaments at baseball heaven when I'm 10 years old. I mean, I played in the city. I played in parks. I mean, you couldn't even imagine I played. You know, I mean, hey, get me any type of glove, I'll pitch with that. You know, I'm a down-to-earth guy from New York. You know, get me any type of glove, I'll pitch with it. Don't matter. Hey, when I was playing with the Ducks, these guys were messing with me. I was using a $30 kid's glove. They said, hey, take a look at that kid. He's got the same glove as you. I said, hey, you know, I'm not big on spending crazy money on baseball equipment. You know, this is a old school man's game, and just play like that. You know, my father.
Sure. Real quick, this one poked out to left. Tanner Thomas has himself a 2-run double, and your party animals have 3 runs here in the top of the 6th inning. That is the 3rd run driven in tonight by your right fielder. That was a heck of an opposite field poke.
And it's Tanner Thomas, who has really not swung the bat too well against Matt Wolf this season. Came in with only 1 knock against Wolfie. This one, the biggest one he's collected on the tour, as the party animals have a really good shot now, up 3 runs in the inning, to put the first point on the board tonight.
You know, I'm going to say this again, and I've said this in Las Vegas. I'll always bet on my boys every time. I'll bet on my boys every time. I got a lot of confidence in all these guys, you know. They step up to the plate. I got a lot of confidence in all these guys. So.
Well, it helps when you have a former ACC ball player like Tanner Thomas, 3 years at Virginia Tech, who just poked that one out to left and grabbed his 47th and 48th RBIs of the year to take a 1-stake lead over the man at the plate, Jake Skoll, who was drafted 15th overall back in 2010. I mean, there is talent all over your ball club.
You know, we got a lot of guys that can really play this game. You know, we really do. It's incredible. You know, I mean, people. I mean, my best friend just, you know, he told me, he says, oh, I didn't really know what this was going to be like. You know, I mean, he's impressed. You know, I mean, some of these guys are really impressed. Some of these guys are impressed. It's like, hey, these guys are playing real baseball. You know, it's like, it's not what they see on. I mean, people see us on the internet. They think, you know, it's just like a bunch of guys just doing tricks. But I mean, like, guys can play.
And how about the heads-up move there by Tanner Thomas? Just swiped his 18th base in 19 tries, and Matt Wolf didn't even throw a pitch. And that one outside. Skull works the sprint. Tanner waltzes home from third, 4th run here in the inning for the Party Animals as Skull now ties Mr. Tinder Thomas atop the ribeye leaderboards. They both have 48.
You know, Beak, I'm going to tell you something. You know, I mean, a few of these guys, you know, I'm a very honest guy from New York. You know, a lot of guys say, hey, Sherman, we're going to go to the city. You know about the ferry? I said, listen, I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I've been to the city 10 times in my life. I don't really go to the city. It's not. It's, you know, I don't really go to the city. It's not my my cup of tea there. You know, but Long Island is my style. You know, I know about the city, but hey, if I'm a type of guy, you know, if I don't know something, I'm straight up about it. I don't know it. Hey, listen, I don't know.
I hear you there, man, and I'm guessing, as we've got a 2-0 count on Bryson Bloomer, who has grounded out and worked a sprint tonight, make it 3 balls and no strikes. You are not counting all the countless times that you pitched in the Zaria League as getting into the city, as you ventured into Brooklyn for that.
Correct. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for the correction, Pico. Yes, I mean, actually, like going to hang out in the city, you know, I mean,
yes.
I'm very businesslike, you know, I'm very focused into the game on what I do. My time is very valuable to me. My time is very, very valuable to me. So anything I do, I give it my all. Such as baseball, I'm playing here, Banana Ball, I give it my 100% all. I always give it my 100% all, no matter what I do. So I don't have time for too much fun and games, but I'm always focusing on myself and making sure I'm as best as I can be, and making sure the guys are around me are the best they can be. I'm always keeping everybody to a very high standard. As Reggie would say, Reggie, my man Reggie, hey, I'm gonna tell you something. I love rooming with Reggie, he's my boy. Oh, I love rooming with Reggie, you know, hold him accountable, hold him to a higher standard. I love that, you know. Hey, me and Reggie get along great, man. I love Reggie, you know. Me and him have established a great connection, me and him, so.
And Jake Lialios, currently in your dugout, is mirroring the Reggie dance. I mean, this is a guy, even though he is on the Bananas coaching staff, that is beloved by every single person in this organization. As Bryson Bloomer gets this one in on the hands, Michael Deeb on the run, able to track it down, and that staunches the bleeding. But the Party Animals rally for 4 runs, and the Nanners will need 4 to tie the 6th inning, 5 to win it. Looks like the bad boys of Banana Land will be able to grab their first point of the night, barring a Brett Helton disastrophe. Now, before we get back into Brandon Sherman time here on the broadcast, it is sheet race o'clock, and this is just about as fired up as I get for any promotion. So we have Teal out to an early lead, Black right behind, and we have an illegal move here by Gray. Gray is on the infield turf. Gray is absolutely out of bounds, cuts off Teal. Lavender, you can completely forget about Lavender. Teal still out in front. It is absolute pandemonium. Black still in this race as well. They are cutting corners like you wouldn't believe. Teal has lost his sheet, completely disqualified. I think Black is my winner because that's the only person who didn't go absolutely banana pants on this sheet race.
Completely agree with you there, Biko. We have rules and standards we abide by in the sheet race. And look at Lavender. Just, that is the refuse to quit attitude you love to see out of a sheet race. Come on now.
And the big finish with the dive. That is what you love to see out of our kids here in the Big Apple.
You know, that's another thing I like to see. You know, I mean, I played on the Ducks, I played here, I played there, but it's just so much fun playing here. It's just a ton of fun. You know, you never know what you're going to see. You really don't know what you're going to see next. You really, really don't.
Sherm, I know you guys go through rehearsals all the time here in Banana Land, but has there ever been a moment or a thing that has happened on the field during a walk-up that has genuinely just blown your mind?
You know, there's been quite a few. There's been quite a few on a walk-up. You know, it's like you get Noah Bridges or somebody, you know, coming in on, they're carrying him or something. You know, they're doing something cool. It's like, this is amazing.
How about that? A little Bermuda single, or Bermuda triangle single rather, for D-Mac McFadden, who is one, check that, 2 for 3 on the ball game with a ribeye. Figure it out, Beaks.
And that's just a nice bloop hit for Dakota McFadden. A big first knock for the Bananas, considering they're down 4 runs in this inning. And if they want to rally, well, Dakota McFadden, he's on for them with his 11th hit to the opposite field this season.
Brett Helton, as I mentioned, in his first inning of work in the 5th. Guy who's spent 4 years in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. After that, 4 years in the American Association, the vast majority of that with the Fargo Moorhead RedHawks, finished up with the Milwaukee Milkmen last summer. And now Brett will bring in Acuff, Baber, and Hampton for a little choreographed 6-2-2 dance. And boy, oh boy, these guys are absolutely dominating it.
You know, I just want to say something, Beak. You know, I mean, we've been traveling the whole country, you know, it's been great, it's been awesome, but, you know, I mean, I tell a lot of guys, you know, a lot of places are kind of very similar if you think about it. You got people, you got bars, you got restaurants, you got business, and what everyone can agree on is respect.
That's a fact, and boy, oh boy, this is now our 26th stop on the tour. All of them have been absolutely magnificent. The fans have been incredible. I mean, we cannot say enough good things about the 26 different cities that we have been lucky enough to visit, as this one popped in foul territory. Bryson Bloomer will grab it for a very big first out.
Every single stop has been amazing. You know, I mean, I have so many memories from each stop. It's like, it's incredible. You know, I mean, even playing here, you know, I have memories from now here. It's like, it's amazing. You know what I mean? It's just incredible. It really is. I mean, there's nothing like coming out of the game and just seeing a big, giant smile on a kid's face, asking for your autograph. Hey, buddy, can I, hey, good job. Can I have your autograph? Can we take a picture? Oh, of course. Yes, of course. Absolutely. It's like, there's nothing like it, you know? It's like, it's amazing.
Bill Leroy fouls this one. And off the roof, uncatchable by fans. 0-1 count on the Bananas catcher. Nanners need one more man to reach base before they can think about possibly tying this 6th inning, as we approach the 28-minute mark on our 2-hour timer. Cut and a miss. The scoreboard here in Staten Island was incorrect. It was actually an 0-2 count. We had it right on the broadcast. Bill goes down swinging for only the 14th time on the tour, and that means Ryan Cox now leads the team with a tour low 13 Ks, or a team low 13 strikeouts rather. Dalton Cornett on your side of the ball with a tour low 12 strikeouts for everyday ball players.
And it's Bill who's been such a pesky hitter this season for the Bananas, but really what gave Brett Helton the opportunity to get the K there on Bill was just getting ahead in the count quickly, 0-2, and Bill trying to battle back, really never had the chance to.
Now Jackson Olsen, 1-1 count on our greatest showman. He singled his first time, struck out in the 4th. Brett Helton, by the way, will be cutting his hair if you donate to bananasfoster.org. That is our nonprofit organization here. For every $1,000 that is donated, he will lop off an inch, and back-to-back Ks on that devastating Helton curveball. Party Animals win the 6th inning, 4-0 and get their first point of the night. And now this is absolute pandemonium here. We're already, oh my gosh, Garrett Delano's hitting. That's a base knock for the Animals extra hitter. We are already in the top of the 7th inning. That is going to be a double for Delano, who is now 1 for 3 on the night. This is madness. How are we already in action here? DJ the Invader on the mound. I guess we have to let people know what our buzzword is for the Hoka giveaway. It is Gabagool. Our buzzword tonight is Gabagool. You have to click the link in the description on the broadcast on YouTube or in the comments section as Cox attacks this between the legs. His 3rd trick play of the night, his 116th to lead all fielders on the tour.
And a really good job there by Ryan Cox, unfazed by the fact that the inning has started so quickly, as DJ already with a strike here on Mike Bavasis pitch hitting, and this one's getting skied out to deep center field. Danny Hosley on the run will make the catch, and Garrett Delano is tagging from second base and in at 3rd. Boy, this is one wild inning.
I have no idea what is happening, but I absolutely love it. Delano at third base with 2 down. Dustin Baber now 0 for 1 with a pop out and a 2-base sprint. He scored 1 of the 4 runs the Party Animals plated an inning ago. And he pops this one right side. Dakota McFadden and Bill Leroy in pursuit, and Bill takes down Mike Galinsky, one of our good friends from the Rumor broadcast team, who hopefully is A-OK, and unfortunately was in the worst spot possible there as the Nanners tried to pursue that foul ball.
Yeah, we've seen that happen one other time on this tour. It happened with the young professor in showdowns, and just one of those situations where you see both guys out of the dugouts, and just an unfortunate situation could really happen with any of the players, whether it be a banana or a party animal.
That was a much smoother collision than when the unstoppable force and unmovable objects of Bill Leroy and the young professor collided in Grayson Stadium. Dustin Baber works his second sprint in as many innings, picks up a ribeye as Delano touches home. And the Party Animals, down 2 in the all-important points category, now lead the 7th inning by a run.
You know, Biko, I got to be brutally honest with you, Biko. I don't even think I've ever told you this. I tell some of these guys before the game, on the Bananas, I'm on the Party Animals, as you guys know. I tell the Banana guys, hey, good luck tonight. I hope you do great. Yeah, I don't root bad for anybody. Let the chips fall where they may. Let the chips fall where they may. I hope you do great. I hope you do great tonight. It doesn't matter to me. I tell these guys all day long, I hope you do great tonight.
I think that just speaks to the camaraderie between both teams.
You know, it does. You know, I mean, you know, everyone's just very friendly. It's like a big family. You know, it's one big family. You know, I tell everybody, good luck. You know, I hope you do great.
Chase Acuff with a 2-2 count on him now. He had an RBI double an inning ago, 1 for 2 on the evening. Big 2-2 pitch as Baber takes off. That one lifted towards center. Danny Hosley will grab it, and the Party Animals plate 1 in the top of the 7th inning as the Bananas now sprint off the field, and it looks like the Party Animals are turning on the Jets and trying to begin the bottom of the 7th inning quickly. Drew Gillespie, the new man on the mound, and Vinny DeRubius pinch hitting, fouls that one out into the Staten Island night towards the ferry harbor.
You know, I want to give a big shout out right now. Oh, is he up right now? I didn't even realize. This is Vinny DeRubius.
There he is.
You know, I want to give a big shout out to this guy, Vinny DeRubius, man. This guy is playing day in and day out. You know, the guy has one eye. I give him uttermost respect. You know, a lot of guys like that, he could have just stopped playing the game. He could have quit. He didn't, and he kept playing. To me, that's respect.
Second trick play of the night, 30th of the tour for Bryson Bloomer. Vinny pinch hitting for Noah Bridges as it's 9-10-1 here now. Dalton Malden fouls this one right side, and it ends up in the Bananas dugout. Party Animals trying to defend a 1-run lead here in the 7th. Malden 0 for 2 on the day, although he did pick up a walk-off on an error back in the 2nd inning. Fouled out to a fan his last time. Well, rather, that was Dakota Stiltz-Albritton hitting in his place, fouling out to a fan. And a 2-1 count now on the songbird of our generation. Gillespie has been an incredible arm for your Party Animals. He throws, for the most part, about 3/4. He'll go over the top and sidearm from time to time. And Vincent Chapman now pausing to give Joe Lytle a chance to shake off getting dinged up there. Vincent dusting off the plate. Oh my gosh! That is so cool to see the broadcast being played in the ballpark.
That is very cool.
And that fires us up. Thank you to that young fan for keeping it locked to BTV on a beautiful Saturday night here in New York City. Gillespie low 90s with the fastball. Those 4-seam, 2-seam, and cut fastballs, changeup and curveball rounds out the arsenal as this one lifted in play. Swan and Gillespie converging, and Jason Swan tries to barehand it. It's a foul ball, and the first trick play missed in 6 tries on the tour for Swanee.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate. It was Jason Swan who was still perfect on the season, 5 for 5. And that's a good situation. Once again, we've seen this a lot from the Bananas and the Party Animals. Great time to try for a trick play, being up a run in this inning. And Vincent Chapman is going to say that this ball ran in on Dalton Malden. He'll be hit with a pitch and reach first base.
I totally forgot to shout out 2 guys. You know what I mean? Big Biko and Josh Teleski. Shout out to my two boys. Day in and day out, these guys are grinding and up here on the broadcast. My brothers, big shout out to you guys.
Sherm, we love you, dude. You're an absolute legend. Really
Josh,
appreciate it.
It's very kind
Much
of you,
love to you,
Sherm.
brother.
Thank
Big
you.
shout out to you guys. You know, I see you guys doing a lot of paperwork, a lot of stuff up here. You know, you guys got a lot going on. So much love to you guys, and big shout out to you guys for always doing an amazing job. Seriously, I mean that. From one of the players to you guys, I mean that. You guys do an amazing job.
You're the man, Sherm. It really warms the heart to hear it. 1-2 count still on Eric Jones Jr., who is 1 for 3 on the ball game. Single back in the third inning. He has scored twice. And fouls off the 1-2 offering from Gillespie. Good fastball right on the outside corner. How cool is it, Sherm, for you to get to see Drew Gillespie come in here and just succeed from the get-go?
You know, I love watching Drew pitch. I do. He's one of our top guys out of the pen. I do love watching him throw. You know, it's like he always does a good job, too. He always does a good job as well. He always does a good job also. He's awesome. He's a great guy. You know, I consider him one of my best friends here. He's new here, so I welcome him with open arms. But me and him have grown a lot together in the past couple of maybe 2-3 months he's been here. But
Jeez,
awesome.
wild play here, Sherm. That was a single for Eric Jones Jr. Dalton and Malden goes first to third, and EJ taking a big round of the bag ends up being caught trying to get back to first safely. Tapped on the head by Swanee. So Malden leads off third, the potential inning tying run, but Baber takes care of Michael Deeb, and the Party Animals win their second inning in a row. They just trail by 1 point as we head to the 8th. Brandon Sherman, thank you so much for joining us in the booth, my dear friend. You're an absolute superstar. You're as good a guy as you can find.
Josh, thank you very much, Josh.
Thank you, Sherm.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much, guys.
Hey, enjoy the rest of your night with your hometown folks,
Thank
Sherm.
you very much. All the best to you guys on the broadcast. Big shout out to all you guys. I love all you guys. God bless everybody.
There goes Brandon Sherman, the incredible southpaw for the Party Animals as he exits stage left. We have Jesse Cole down on the field. I thought it was yellow o'clock, but instead it is a brand new promo. Let's see what Jesse's got going on.
Which one is her spouse? So we're gonna move these around a little bit here. Gentlemen, back sides. All right. Melody, come forward here. And here is number 1. Turn around. All right, that's it, Melody. That's it, next one. Number 2, okay? Number 3, and we got one more coming here from the Party Animals. All right, now, no more touching. Melody, was it number 1, number 2, number 3, or do you wish it was number 2? What do you guys think? Take your blindfold off. She was right. 46 years. Thank goodness, Melody. There you have it. Guess your spouse.
Well, that one's a keeper. Heck of a job there by Melanie. Happy to see that her husband was fired up. The Hoka's giveaway will continue because the 7th inning was an absolute whirlwind. So the buzzword of gabagool will still get you inserted into the giveaway with a chance to earn yourself a free pair of Hoka's, and we will also be announcing who won the free pair of Hoka's from an evening ago when Melly B was behind the scenes, so she was not able to run the computer operation to randomly select one of you amazing fans who had entered.
So what I'm hearing is we're announcing 2 pairs of Hokas!
You're spot on, Josh. Really good work by you. The monster, Matt Malatesta, the new man on the bump. 2-0 count to Reese Hampton, the switch hitting center fielder. Now ahead 2 balls and a strike. Doubled back in the first from the right side and struck out from the right side against Ryan Kellogg and flew out from the left side against Matt Wolf as Dalton Malden grabs his second trick play of the night, 31st in 33 attempts on the tour.
And that's where you see that Hampton shift come in handy. The Bananas know when Reese is turned around from that side that he's going to pull the ball. Malden in perfect positioning. And by the way, we didn't have a chance in that quick inning to recognize that we've got a little bit of a position change on the diamond. Dakota McFadden has been inserted into this game, moving from the extra hitter spot over at first base, and Eric Jones now across the diamond goes from first to third tonight.
Dalton Cornett with a 1-1 count on him. 0 for 3 on the evening. Ground out, pop out, and reached on a trick play missed. Now ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. Malatesta in his second World Tour. The collegiate banana in 2021. Big reason why the Nanners took home that Coastal Plain League championship.
And this is a guy who has continued to get better in every outing that he's had this season. The earned run average now sits below 5 for Malatesta. He's an above average tour pitcher by ERA plus, and the guy really pounding the strike zone as Dalton Cornett takes that one over the plate and just misses a fair ball down the line.
Malatesta out of Brant Beach, New Jersey. Not too far from here. A splitter specialist who works in two-seam fastball, slider, and forkball from time to time, but lives on that split fastball. Caught and missed. There is the splitter in all of its beauty. And Cornett strikes out for only the 13th time on the tour. He now ties Ryan Cox as the duo have the least amount of strikeouts for everyday players.
And we've seen back-to-back at-bats for Dalton Cornett against Malatesta that have now resulted in the strikeout. And this is really surprising considering Dalton Cornett 5 for 10 against Malatesta on the tour.
It is confounding to say the least. 1 count now on Tanner Thomas, a 2018 and 2019 collegiate banana. Back in his junior college days when he was at Tallahassee Community College before he transferred up to Blacksburg, Virginia, and spent 3 years as a Hokie at Virginia Tech. Having himself a heck of a night. 1 for 2. A 2-run double, a sac fly back in the first, and sandwiched in between them, a ground out to short in which Ryan Cox ripped off a trick play. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Party Animals right fielder.
And Malatesta has really seen since the end of May this rise in being the Bananas setup man for Danny Hosley or whoever else the Bananas want to have close ball games. Now here on a 2-2 count, can he nail the pitch as he tries a funky delivery here to Tanner? And this one lined to deep right field, but Noah Bridges will camp under it, and Matt Malatesta out of the 8th in 3 minutes and 53 seconds.
A 1-2-3 frame for the Monster. Nanners lead by a point and need just 1 run in the 8th inning to double said lead. It is yellow o'clock here in Staten Island University Hospital Community Park, home of the Staten Island FerryHawks of the Atlantic League. It's been the case for the last 3 years. Before that, it was the Staten Island Yankees, low A affiliate, of course, of the New York Yankees. From 2001, when this beautiful ballpark was built, up until 2020. And now, the full capacity crowd all joining in and turning yellow. I think 5 though. In SIUH Community Park, It's always good to check in on Jesse Cole's thoughts on how he feels about the great fans here in Banana Land. Jesse, what's on your heart, man?
We love you so much, Banana Nation. Now let's go, Bananas!
Yeah, that makes sense. Jolie Shabala, our queen of Bananas Fosters, letting us know that a member of the K Club will donate to Bananas Foster if Josh Talevsky shaves his mustache. Need to know how much it would take for you to shave the stash, Josh.
I am utterly baffled by what I've just heard. Please repeat that in full one more time for me.
How much money would a donation from the K Club take for you to shave your mustache? That is, of course, to Bananas Foster, as Dan Oberst leads off the bottom of the 8th. 3-4-5 beef of the Bananas order here for Sean Fluke, the exterminator, the new man on the mound. A couple St. Pete guys going to battle against each other, and Dan Oberst wins it with a base knock up the middle.
I want you to know that this is not something that I have contemplated very much, despite your host mom Paula's attempts to get me to shave my mustache. Give me a little while to think about this one.
Chew on that, Josh. We'll get back to you, buddy. No rush. Potential inning-winning run aboard. And Dakota McFadden, who's 22 walk-offs, are second to only Danny Hosley on this World Tour, who, as it turns out, waits in the on-deck circle. This one laced into the stands, but not caught by fans. D-Mac 2 for 3 on the night. Couple singles. Strikeout sandwiched in between. First base knock of the day brought in what was the inning tying run in the first for the Nanners. Front door bender skied on the left side and into foul territory. Bryson Bloomer makes the snag for out number 1.
That was a tough out there for Dakota McFadden. Pretty disappointed in getting under the breaking ball there for Sean Fluke. But let's note, as Alex Ziegler is coming up with the big bat, Dan Oberst, he's on first base. He's been a very active base stealer on this season's tour. So, with the Bananas only up 1 point in this ballgame in the 8th inning, do they try and get Oberst into scoring position and see if it's Ziegler who can get a base knock and put the Bananas up 2 points before we go into the last inning of play?
Ziggy 4 for 28 on the tour. One of those 4 hits was with this monstrosity of a hunk of lumber. Ahead 2 balls and no strikes. One misses a pinch up, count 3-0. Can't forget about Dan Oberst over on first base. He takes off and he pulls it back. It is going to be a sprint anyway. Ball not handled by Chase Acuff. Luke has to help out on the sprint defense. It is now just getting around the Party Animals infield. All 3 outfielders have to touch it. It won't be in time. Alex Ziegler, how about it, my man? His 3rd walk-off on the tour, and the Nanners lead 4 points to 2. Here comes the young professor.
Off of the 8th inning, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, to cast our gazes towards the scoreboard as we head into the top of the 9th. It is now 4-2 in favor of the Savannah Bananas. But if you remember the rules of Banana Ball, here's the thing. In the final inning, every run counts for a point. That means the Party Animals are hungrier than ever to put some points on the board, which they can do right now. On the other side of that, the Savannah Bananas need just 3 outs to walk this thing off and win the whole thing. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen of Staten Island, and welcome to the final inning.
The young professor did not stutter and he did not lie. Every run scored here in the 9th will count as a point. For everybody doing the mental math at home, Party Animals need 2 to tie the game, 3 to take the lead as the best pitcher on this 2023 World Tour. Danny Hosley will come on in. 50 1/3 innings of work in which he has only allowed 33 hits, 16 sprints, and has picked up 70 strikeouts with an astronomically low 2.32 ERA.
We've seen utter dominance from Danny Hosley on this year's tour. But what's very interesting is the last couple of weeks, it does feel like the Party Animals have started to figure out Hosley. And when we look at the 9th inning stats alone for the Party Animals offensively, a month ago they were batting below 200 in the 9th. They have actually brought that mark up to batting 213 in the 9th inning. Still not great, but consider this, a lot of that raise in batting average has come against Danny Hosley.
He has the beat of this Party Animals lineup 4, 5, and 6. Jake Skoll, Bryson Bloomer, and Garrett Delano. 3 guys who all have the power to put a ball over the New York Harbor and land it in Lower Manhattan. If they square it up, you look down on SIUH Community Park through the Banana Panorama, as Haas is 60 feet and 6 inches away from Jake Skoll, man who has played a whole lot of ball games here in Staten Island through the last 3 summers in the Atlantic League, playing for the Gastonia Honey Hunters. And he takes a heater on the inside corner for strike 1. Hosley usually about 90 to 93 with the fastball. Works in a devastating Vulcan changeup and a 12-6 curveball to boot, as Skoll had no idea that one back to the backstop, but he is happy to hit either way.
Yeah, kind of surprising again. Really, the main factor there was Jake Skoll not seeing that ball skirt away from Bill Leroy, but you're still not sure for the guy out of all the Party Animals who likes getting his 4 or 5 ABs a game. He likely wouldn't have taken off on the pitch anyways, as Danny Hosley goes to that changeup and gets the swing and a miss from Jake Skoll there.
I think I would contest that just a tad, because the Party Animals are 1 base runner away from bringing the tying run in the game up to the plate, and Skoll has stolen first twice on the tour when the team needed him to do it.
This is a guy, mind you, though, where over half of his hits this season have gone for extra bases.
And he strikes out there. If he had known the ball was going back there, he certainly should have tried to steal first, as he jaws at Danny Hosley, unhappy that he was put away on the 12-6 curveball. I think he wanted more than just the first pitch fastball. As Haas yanks that heater down and out. Party Animals down to their final 2 outs. Bryson Bloomer, the third baseman, 0 for 2 on the day. A sprint back in the 5th, cranks that one to third. Eric Jones Jr. cleans it up, and the Party Animals down to their final out.
And what the Bananas and Danny Hosley might not realize there is that is a critical out for Bryce to get against Bryson Bloomer, who leads all Party Animals batting 400 in the 9th inning this season. So now all they have to do is attack Garrett Delano, who is 1 for 3 in the 9th inning this season.
And 1 for 3 on the evening. A double in the 7th. Line out and ground out in his 2 plate appearances previous. Just an absolutely baffling sentence for our broadcaster. And a 2-0 count on Delano. Cranked foul, and the fans fail to catch it. That would have been a doozy.
Those sharp liners are always tough to catch, especially as they sail further and further up in the stands, and you see more and more hands in the air, and that's where you saw the ricochet off some fingertips. As Delano is going to give the fans a second opportunity.
And they come up empty once again. That one hit a mile high. Off the bat, I thought it was going to land on top of the press box. It does not. And the Party Animals down to their final strike. Hosley comes with the 2-2. Cut and a miss! The 12-6 curve gets the job done. And the Bananas have won the first of 3 games here in New York against the Party Animals. A 4-2 victory in Staten Island.
And it's the road wins that continue to pile up this season for the Bananas. Great pitch and execution there from Danny Hosley. And another night where you see a more consistent offensive attack from the Bananas and a situation where they were also able to capitalize on some party animals' miscues.
Your winning team, the Savannah Bananas.
Felt like Jesse might have a special something for the fans here. He now steps aside.
Now let's send it down to the field. Bill Leroy.
And Bill will take over.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your hands together one last time. Coming to the mound to celebrate a Bananas win, myself, Bill Leroy. Up next, we have our wonderful coaches, Coach Adam Virant and Coach Tyler Gillum. And our amazing entertainers, fastest man in Banana Ball, Malachi Flash the Kid Mitchell. Our rodeo clown, trick pitcher, Matty Wolf. Our bat trickster, Alex Ziegler. Tallest man in sports, Dakota Stilts Albritton. And last but not least, our dancing first base coach, Maceo. We have our pitchers and reserves. Starting pitcher, Ryan Kellogg, Nolan Daniels, Zach Phillips, DJ the Invader, Kyle Luigs, Christian Dearman, Matt Malatesta, Jared Donaldson, and Connor Higgins. Coming up to the mound, making a good play in the ninth inning at third base, Eric Jones. Up next, you know him, you love him, heartthrob of Banana Land, number 9, Noah Bridges. The slugger, coming up with the legend, Reginald Horton, Mr. Danny Oberst. Closing out the ninth inning, yet again, number 18, Mr. Danny Hosley. Our trick shortstop and glove magician, living up to his name tonight, number 6, Ryan Cox. The doctor is back tonight, wearing number 5, Mr. DR Meadows. Coming up, singing his new song, How'd You Keep Her? Check it out on Spotify. Number 13, Dalton Malden. The Italian Stallion, number 41, Vinny DeRubius. Beating his chest, coming to the mound, number 24, Dakota D-Mac McFadden. The man with all the grooves, the barrel man, number 7, Michael Vitamin D. Last, but certainly not least, our social media star and greatest showman, number 8, Jackson Olsen.
One more time for your Savannah Bananas! New York City, you guys have been magical the last 2 nights. Thanks for all your energy coming from all over the country to be with us. You are amazing. We love you so much. Now, let's light up the sky and finish it off in fashion. So let's join in on a little countdown. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
never seen in my life. Jesse Cole keeps some secrets from the broadcaster. It is fireworks time here in the Staten Island sky, and it starts red, white, and blue, particularly blue and red right now, flashing out. Oh, beautiful twinkles coming down towards the turf. They look like a bunch of fireflies now as we get the strobing effect that have had far too much caffeine. Wow! The green and red there dancing all over the place and moving and jiving in a way that I've never seen from fireworks before. They look like fish in the ocean spooked by a massive predator. Quite possibly fish out in the New York harbor that have a shark incoming after them. Or maybe some krill out there when you have a big old humpback whale breaching, trying to get a big old snack. Now it's Mardi Gras themed. We have green and purple and red up high. Feels like we're down on the bayou. YouTube King Zach Bro loves it. Some purple up high in the sky. Now a shooting jet coming back. Kind of looks like the folks with the sheet race. And those sheets just billowing in the wind off the harbor. Now back to purple and green with hints of bronze in the background. Get some red involved as well. Looks like some metal on metal. Maybe you're trying to split some wood and someone drove a stake into the tree. You didn't know about it. All of a sudden, you're trying to cut this piece of wood in half and there's sparks flying. Now it is some more sparks going out of the sky. Now a bit of a palm tree type effect. Tips of blue, red, and green up high. And a jet stream. Kind of looks like if you had a superhero shooting up into the sky. Hands to the clouds, and behind him, a trail of red chalk is his jet stream. Some more sparklers, vibes like 4th of July, some purple, green, and red, twinklies, and strobing all over the place. Excellent variety on this fireworks show thus far tonight. We get some Christmas colors with the green and red, big old pops circling out. Looks like one of those folks on the interwebs, on the social media, who has a paper spinning in circles and they put a marker down and it turns into a full piece of art before you even can blink your eyes. Now, the bronze and silver blasting away. They look like stars up in the night, possibly shooting, possibly turning into the black hole that will mark the end of their existence. Now, a really nice squirrely look like the tails on pigs darting up into the sky. They turn into green and blue and red all in one, like confetti, after the Boston Celtics and the Boston Red Sox both win their championships in the same venue for some reason. Gosh, I hate that I just said that in New York. Now we shoot up. Some more strong streams in the background enveloping the sky in those twinkly, very hyper fireflies. Some more big ol' splashes, those out into an oval type effect. Kind of looks like you're tossing a variety of very small stones into a completely stagnant farm pond. Oh, big ol' massive twinkly fireworks now. Hints of bronze in the background, strong silver light in the foreground. 3 for the price of 1 right there. They twinkle up into the sky and continue to flash as they descend towards the earth. Some yellow and blue, some more twinklies. Looks like the sparklers you could hold in your hand on the 4th of July. In fact, you could hold them on any day. It's just you usually see them on America's birthday. Now some more purple and yellow. Some twinklies shooting off in every which way. Kind of looks like somebody growing an abstract mohawk out of their head. It kind of juts out in every which way, but you could tell if you wanted to label the haircut one thing or the other, you would say it's a mohawk. Now a bit of a weeping willow effect as these things drifting down to the earth. Looks like we could even see them touching down on the harbor, possibly landing on my Prius parked out behind the outfield wall. I'll have to check on that after the ball game. Now absolute bronze, some more strobing. Oh, wow. Looks like a big old storm cloud has descended upon Staten Island, and it is about to be a menacing piece of precipitation that it is going to drop down, possibly something otherworldly. Maybe DJ the Invader is involved in these giant clouds up in the sky. The bronze sparkling up high, and now a blast of every which shape and color completely possible, as it seems we have gotten into our finale. Oh, baby! They are coming every which way in every kind of style. Red, white, and blue in single fireworks. We have bronze, we have green, big old red, white, and blue with sparklies in the background. Looks like geese traversing across the night sky in their classic V formation. These are some abstract designs, as if Pokeballs are being tossed in the air and they're trying to catch the greatest Pokemon of them all. Bit of Notre Dame colors down low, some green and gold. Michael D must be happy about that. Some more big old sparklies, and now the fish darting across the sky, and you have every kind of firework you could ever imagine. Some bigger stones being tossed into a mountain stream. Oh, baby! The colors, the sizes, the speeds, and the sounds are at a pace that this young broadcaster has never seen in his young fireworks broadcasting career. The bronze, the purple, the sparklies, they are not done. It ebbs and flows like a roller coaster ride that I never want to end. Now it is Pop-O clock down low. Big old bangs, the kind of sound that are waking people up across the New York Harbor in Jersey City, Manhattan, and Brooklyn. Big, juicy, classic firework up top. Bronze in color, this one with 4 tips of red on the ends. Now some sparkles of green in the background. Look like butterflies twinkling down out of the night. Well, the ebbs and flows of this fireworks show are masterful. Now 2 at a time up high. Kind of looks like a buoy out in the harbor there with the red on the end. And what a bizarre way to end it, but I love the whole trip. Jesse Cole.
And we love you guys. Our entire team, our cast, everyone will be outside in front of the main gate to thank you, to meet and greet, take pictures. We love you guys. Hope to be back soon.
Golly, as Bricky shouts out in the K-Club chat, I did just shout out the Boston Red Sox and the Boston Celtics in my home state of New York. But there was no better way in my mind at the time to describe the flurry of green and red that looked so much like confetti to old Biko Scala. What can you do? Of course, now we have the Red Sox emojis in the chat. They are just absolutely pouring it on. I am Biko Scala. He is Josh Chalevsky. And I believe my dear partner here has some advanced statistics on those fireworks.
Indeed I do, and you talked about the shade of red. Well, I saw 9 different shades of red tonight. I saw some fuchsia. I also saw a red I would liken to the heart in the I Love New York shirts.
Wow.
There were also 7 different variations of green. That was second most amongst all the fireworks. We had the most pops per second we've ever seen at the beginning of a fireworks show, 52 pops per second. And per firework, we're not talking about combined fireworks here, 44 sparkles per second per firework and 70 pops per second at the end per firework as well. And also, I don't have a tool of measuring this, but these were the largest circumferences in terms of the range and the arc of these fireworks that we've seen all season. An incredible show overall.
Oh, you're absolutely spot on there. I had to fool around with our backdrop to keep the illusion that we are in a banana ball world. I mean, you can't see a little piece of the room that we're in behind it. I mean, this is the banana ball world here. That is excellent work on the fireworks advanced statistics. Now, when it comes to the banana ball game that preceded said fireworks, boy, oh boy, that was a doozy. It was a 1-1 tie in the first inning, so no point was earned. And then the Nanners did their damage in the second, third, and fourth. And although they put themselves in positions to succeed, it was some uncharacteristic sloppy defense by the Party Animals that left the door ajar for the Nanners.
It kind of feels like the turf hindered the Party Party Animals defensively in the ball game. But here's the thing, in those innings we were seeing the Bananas win, they were only scoring 1 run to walk it off. So you've got to give credit to Ryan Kellogg for what he was able to do across 5 innings.
Right.
And while the Party Animals scratched their way across against Matt Wolf and DJ the Invader, the Bananas countered in the 8th and the 9th with their 2 best relievers this season. Matt Malatesta setting up Danny Hosley to make sure they'd get that win.
That is how you nail down a 4-2 point victory for the Nanners, who are now back to 5 games ahead of the Party Animals on the tour, which matches their tour high. That's how they left the great state of California. The Party Animals then took the first 2 games in Grayson Stadium a week ago, and the Nanners, winning on Saturday night, have now won back-to-back Saturdays against the Party Animals, and once again are in the driver's seat of this tour. They also now just have to win either in Syracuse on September 14th or Cooperstown on September 16th to take the great state of New York. And boy, oh boy, this was a big one that the Nanners nailed down here in Staten Island.
Well, let's consider this. We go back to California. The last time the Bananas were playing the Party Animals on the road, 6 straight wins against the Animals, which now marks 7 straight road wins for the Bananas against the Party Animals. The last time the Party Animals able to claim a win, it was in Durham, North Carolina. So it really feels like the Party Animals are going to have to figure out some way to be able to win some more innings offensively and overall see better pitching and defensive results on the road.
Yes, and when you go back to that Durham game, that was only 1 of 4 games that the Party Animals won in the Tar Heel State. So if you really go back in time now the Bananas have won 10 out of the last 11 games outside of historic Grayson Stadium. They are on an absolute tear here on the road, and we will see the Party Animals and Nanners battle again on Monday night in Hartford, Connecticut. So that is going to be a blast in Dunkin' Donuts Ballpark, one of the best minor league stadiums in the country. Going to be really cool to see how that one unfolds. Of course, in the home state of Vinny DeRubius and Jackson Olsen, we will have all kinds of fun festivities with the 2 of them. We have to give away a pair of Hokas last night, and we have to give away a pair of Hokas tonight. When I add that up on my hands, how many pairs of Hokas do I have?
2 pairs of Hokas!
Gosh, you nail it every time, Josh. Last night's Hokas winner, drum roll please, James Kavanaugh. James Kavanaugh, congratulations on your free pair of Hokas. And tonight's pair of Hokas, drum roll please, Dina Rideout. I believe it's Dina Rideout, or Dina Radio if we're getting real French on it, but I'm going to stick with Dina Rideout. Congratulations on your free pair of Hokas. What an absolute doozy of a ball game tonight, and we appreciate everybody who spent their Saturday evening with us in Banana Land. It was a special one for me in my home state, as now we go to Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Maine before we head out to Des Moines, Iowa, back to Savannah, out to Milwaukee, back to my home state to finish up in Syracuse and Cooperstown. It is a massive sprint over the last month plus of this Banana Ball World Tour, and boy, those Nanners with a 5-game advantage looking to seal the deal on winning this first ever mega World Tour against the Party Animals. Before we wrap this thing up and say so long until Monday night in Hartford, Connecticut, we have to shout out our incredible crew that made this production possible. It starts with the folks down in Savannah, Georgia, in the hostess city of the South, our director, Mr. Keegan Woods, and our technical director, Griffin Ellis. They are a 2-person team that are phenomenal. They are so good. On audio, it was Kwanzi, one name, you know him, you love him, dominating the 1s and the 2s. On the scorebug, Michael Basista. On the graphics, it was Julia Massey. And on the stats that were being updated on said graphics, it was Mikey O'Connor. That is a 3-headed monster that I would put up against any graphics team this side of the Mississippi, possibly even the other, although that is not where my expertise lies in the graphics world. On the replay, Dakota Burnsett. That's what I'm talking about, Dakota. Absolutely killing it on the replay tonight. Nailed it on the challenge that was not. You were ready should it have come. And that brings us to our good folks here in Staten Island, New York. On the first base camera, Ben Barks. He could put him anywhere, and he will dominate it. Same goes for Emerson Elmgren, the Iron Horse of BTV, across the diamond, holding down the third base camera. Could say the same for Clayton Franklin, our high home camera extraordinaire. Put him anywhere, he'll be great. But boy, oh boy, does he absolutely manhandle that high home camera. And below us on the low home cam, Braden Hoskovic, killer job by you as well, my dear friend. And even more impressive job popping those balloons in the FerryHawks game on our high home cameraman, Clayton Franklin. That was some chemistry building stuff that I still am laughing at, and I will never get that image out of my mind, and I'm so thankful for the two of you for making it happen. Same goes for Henry Campbell, our wireless cameraman, who teamed up with Mr. Chris Haynes, who is doing something tonight. I don't see him on the list, but he was obviously here. Beats me what Chris was up to, but the two of them, a very thrilling job on that balloon popping extravaganza. Yeah, stanza. George Costanza. Okay, terrific. I am going off the rails. But I have to shout out Nick Keldy, our drone coordinator, who is flying that thing all over the New York sky. Nick, you're an absolute superstar, and you know it. Our moderators in the chat, Scott Thompson and Colbite_. Incredible work by you two, and same goes for the good folks in the chat. Our video legend, Chris Sachi, saucing us up the Kyle Lewigs Showman of the Night package, and our YouTube king, Zach Bro, doing so many things behind the scenes, making thumbnails, cutting videos, creating shorts. It would boggle your mind if you saw what was happening there. And of course, our Zappos and K-Club queen, Melly Beal, Melissa Beal, Millicent Bean Supreme, Melly B, Smelly Beans. All of the names are deserved for our great Melissa Beal. Thank you so much to everybody who watched at home. Thank you to Josh Talevsky for an incredible job of statistical savanting and color commentating.
Biko, you're the Socrates scallywag, and boy, do I fancy your fireworks calls. Terrific work, my friend.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you to DR Meadows for coming on in the pregame show, Kyle Lewigs and Brandon Sherman for joining us during the ball game. I am Biko Scala saying so long for Chad Reese, our coordinating producer, the straw that stirs our drink, the most beautiful brain in Banana Land, and just an incredible coordinating producer. We will see you on Monday night on Nesson. We will be on Nesson on Monday night, the New England Sports Network. It is a really cool opportunity, so we will really sorely miss you in the YouTube chat, but hopefully you can tune in on Nesson for these 4 games in New England. Until then, we will, of course, see you on Monday night in Hartford, and see you later!